Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish Water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
Very good afternoon to you. Welcome back. It's session number 5 this afternoon. And these are the remaining heats of the events that we saw swum this morning. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and I'm joined in the studio with Paul Noble. Good afternoon, Paul.
Hi, Duncan. Good to be back again. It was a good session this morning. We enjoyed a couple of good swims, people trying to make their way through to those finals this evening, and it might be a tough ask for some of the swimmers this afternoon to make their way through to the finals, but you never know, it does happen. And there's what we've got in prospect. Male and Open 400 individual medley starts us off, female equivalent following that, 100 backstroke, 200 breaststroke, 200 freestyle, 50 butterfly, and then we finish with a 1500 freestyle, which is a little bit different. We didn't see that this morning.
Yeah, I think we just have the one heat of 1500 freestyle this afternoon. The fastest heat will be swum tonight, so it should be good. A nice way to finish. It was 1500. You love a distance event, particularly if it's competitive and you've got two swimmers trying to psych each other out through 30 lengths of the pool. So that will be a fun way to finish the afternoon. Of course, for a lot of these swimmers as well, it's really about improving your best times. A lot of these younger swimmers that are swimming this afternoon will be swimming either in the British Summer Championships in Sheffield in July or up in Aberdeen in a couple of weeks' time in the Scottish Summer Meet. So that probably those two meets will be their target meets. But if they can set themselves up nicely today, then that will put them in good stead, I would think, for these meets coming up later on in the month. Or the month of July. It starts on Monday. So lots to look forward to. As we said, 400 individual medley is going to go in 4 heats. That will be the first one for the male and open events, and then 4 heats as well in the female events. So that will get us started. We saw some very interesting 400 IMs this morning, didn't we? With people starting strongly and then fading, others coming from nowhere and storming through. We often see them, of course, in the breaststroke coming through very strongly, but we also saw some in backstroke and then a freestyle finishes. So, yeah, you never know what's going to happen in the 400 IM.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw some people with very strong finishes, very strong second half of the races as well. As soon as they hit the breaststroke, got a little bit of a spurt, a little bit of an advantage on that breaststroke and held on to it on the freestyle. So, you never can tell with this 400, like a good close 400 individual medley. And as we said, a lot can happen in the 400 IM. There's lots of time for people to use their good strokes to their advantage, isn't there?
Yeah, so we've got a good crowd in this afternoon. You see there some of our coaches from the local club, Warrender Baths. They're all getting their planning ready, just a little bit of briefing to one of their swimmers there. So we wish all of our swimmers the very best of luck this afternoon, and we hope that the afternoon session goes well for you. That is your lineup for the first race of the afternoon. So it is, as I said, the first of 4 heats in the male and open 400 individual medley. Logan Wright goes for University of Aberdeen in 2. Andrew McKendrick of Warrender in 3, Daniel Roberts of Billingham in 4, Matthew Scott of Aberdeen in 5, and 2 more Warrender swimmers, Noah Lucatelli in 6 and Murray Gallagher in lane 7. Entry times all pretty close, 5:33s and 5:34s, so hopefully we'll have a nice competitive race to get us started here. Good strong start from the Aberdeen swimmer Matthew Scott in the white cap. So he's suddenly taking advantage of strong butterfly skills. Beside him, Noah Lucatelli in lane 6. So They're the front runners. The other four are all pretty close as we come up to the first changeover. If you've not been joining us, you'll see there we got the splits coming up. Once we get into the 100, we'll see two numbers. The first will be the time for the previous 50 meters, and the second will be the cumulative time. And that's useful to keep an eye on who's going faster, who's going slower. So do keep an eye on that as the afternoon progresses. But this is pretty tight at the front, Paul.
Yeah, it certainly is. Matthew Scott there in lane number 5, and Noah Lucatelli as well. So Matthew Scott, the oldest in this first heat, 20 years of age, with that entry time of 5:33. Lucatelli, 16-year-old. We've got a couple of 14-year-olds in this one. Daniel Roberts lying in third position there. He's one of the 14-year-olds, and somewhere right at the bottom of your screen, the left-hand side as we look at it, closest to us, Logan Wright from University of Aberdeen Performance, also a 14-year-old. But they're a little bit down in the early stages here as Matthew Scott from Aberdeen just stretching away on the backstroke. And with Noah Lucatelli, Warren de Baas, one of the 3 Warrender swimmers. You see the red caps dotted around the pool of the Warrender swimmers. Always like to look for those familiar caps of the Warrender swimmers, although I think I do get mixed up with Perth City as well. With the same red. Well, you need to look
Are you an
closely.
expert in shades of red now?
Yeah, well, you know, that's it. They look
Scarlet,
the same to me.
vermilion, what else do we have? Anyway, it's the white cap that's leading, and that is Matthew Scott, the 20-year-old, showing his experience here and having a good backstroke just to get away from the young whippersnappers. And he will have a fairly comfortable lead now at halfway, 2:32.26. And you see they're nearly 2 seconds faster in that second 50 than Noah was. And so he's opened an advantage of over 3 seconds now. And then a fair gap from Noah to Daniel Roberts, the Billingham 14-year-old, in lane 4. So breaststroke quite often, as we all know, is where things can change. It's not looking like it's happening here, although I think Daniel is making some ground on Noah. Coming up to the 250, and we'll get a feel for the different pacings of these top 3 swimmers as they go through the turn. So 47 point for Matthew. Noah, I think, will be slower than that. Yep, 49.9. And my guess is, well, we're not seeing Daniel's split come up, but I think that was probably faster.
Yeah, 48.16, I think it is, Duncan. Just looking at the scoreboard there on the far side from us.
You've got your glasses on, so you've got an advantage over me. I could just see a blur down there.
I can't see the one closest to us, but like a almost an acute angle there. It's quite difficult to see the times on this one. I can see the far away one, though. That's a sign of age. You can see distance, but you can't see close up. That's probably it.
Well, it's a sign you've got the right glasses on anyway. So up to 300 meters, Matthew looking in pretty good control here, 4:08.13. So I think he's set up for what hopefully will be a nice improvement, because he's, you know, he needs a 125 for his freestyle. You'd expect him to be a fair bit faster than that. And look at the size of his lead, it's enormous now. It's getting tighter though for second, because Daniel has made a lot of ground in that breaststroke compared with Noah Lucatelli, and they're pretty much alongside each other now, around about 16, 17 meters behind Matthew Scott. So we see him turn for the final time. That was a 37 point there, so we'll do the maths, 5:22-ish. Matthew entered 5:33, so that's a nice way to get the afternoon going.
Yeah, absolutely, and the fastest entry time out of all the 4 heats is just 5:20, so this could be a very impressive swim here in this first of the 4 heats for the man in lane number 5. So Matthew Scott is going to take this one, looking very comfortable as he comes in, and as you said, Duncan, just going to be over that 5:20 mark well, we're not going to get it, but I think it is somewhere around about 5:21, maybe high 5:21s possibly. There we go, 5:21.83, and that is an excellent way to start the afternoon. 12 seconds or so, just inside 12-second improvement there on the entry time, so great stuff.
And Daniel Roberts will be pleased with his time as well, 5:28.77, so that is about 4.5 seconds inside his entry time, and so that's a good performance from the youngster, 14-year-old. It's been great to see these swimmers, regular visitors now, they from the northeast. Looked like we had a DQ there. I saw pop up. I didn't actually catch which lane it was. So apologies about that.
I think it was lane 3. I think it was Andrew McKendrick, I think, had that DQ. Unfortunately,
so we'll just confirm that shortly.
There's the next heat on the way now. Second of the 4 heats, Aidan McCavish from first, closest to us. We've got all 8 swimmers in this one. Stephen Lamb from Scotia in 2, Samuel Ruff from City of Glasgow in 3, Arshan Jafari Mayer from Aberdeen in 4, Joe Carty from City of Glasgow in 5, Luke Livingston from Best in 6, Jamie McBain from Deveront in 7, and Callum Strusick from Bellshill in lane number 8. So getting off to a good start here. It looks like Luke Livingston.
Stephen Lamb,
in fact, yeah.
32 years old. So double the age of anybody else in the heat. Well done, Stephen. Sticking at it there in lane 2. Going for Scotia, the club based in Bishopbriggs. He has the youngsters snapping at his heels, Luke Livingston of the Borders team, Best, and Callum Strusick of Bells Hill in the red up at the top of your screen. So these 3 are all pretty close, but it is Stephen Lamb holding on to his lead, 1:08.47. That is faster than Matthew Scott in the previous heat by a bit over a second. So we'll see whether Stephen can maintain this pace. He got a very nice turn there.
Did a few more experienced swimmers, shall we say, from Scotia that we've seen over the years. I remember a few swimmers at the championships in previous years taking part from Scotia, but certainly Stephen doing a good job for them in the early stages. Look at very close contest for second, but Stephen certainly got the lead here as they come into the 150 mark.
So 41.7 split for him. Let's check the others. 42.5 for Samuel Ruff, and the others 44s, 46s. So, yep, still building that lead, Stephen. 5:31.36 is entry time. So we saw that 5:21 in the previous heat. So see whether Stephen can get anywhere close to that. Second place in lane 3 is Samuel Ruff. Now he's just 13 years old from City of Glasgow. He's silver medalist in national age groups back in April. And he is closing the gap a bit. 2:31.53 for Stephen, 2:35.71. I said closing a bit, it was only 1300ths faster than Stephen on that last split, so we'll see whether anyone can get close to Stephen in the breaststroke. Certainly on his own now, Samuel Ruff in second place, and then a trio of swimmers behind him, headed by Joe Carty, another City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 5, with either side of him Arshan Jafari Mayer in lane 4 and Luke Livingston in lane 6. But still Stephen Lamb taking this one out. So we saw the 20-year-old in the first heat, another 32-year-old. So 45.9. Again, well, much faster than Samuel Ruff. He was a 49, so, well, this is looking really good for Stephen Lamb.
Yeah,
taking it down towards the 300. It's tightening up behind him, though, because Arshan and Joe, just about side by side, are slowly clawing back Samuel Ruff's advantage. And also there, lane 1, Aidan McCavish of first, not far away in that group, but they can see Stephen Lamb in the distance as he turns 300 4:04.90, now over 3 seconds faster than the previous heat. So this is going to be another great time.
Yeah, it should be a cracking time here for Stephen. Let's see what he can bring it home in. 404.90. Let's see. Check the split when he reaches the top end. That entry time 5:31.36. It's going to be much faster than that. It looks like he's extending the lead. There's practically no one else in the picture. Just Samuel Ruff coming back into the picture now. Let's have a look at the splits here as he goes over on this final turn. 37.69 for Stephen Lamb. Has anyone been able to close the gap slightly? Samuel Ruff will be coming in to the turn just about now, and well, again, the lead is extended, and now I can say there is no one else in the picture because Stephen Lamb is going to be home and he's going to be hitting the wall in a very impressive time. We saw 5:21.83 in the previous heat. I think he might be slightly inside that one. His entry time for Stephen Lamb 5:31, and he's going to be under the 5:20. That is an impressive swim. 5:19.89. He will be delighted with that one, and he won it from the front. Samuel Ruff just closing the gap very slightly in the final 50. 5:30 for Samuel Ruff, bang on his entry time, with Jafari Mir in at third place on 5:34 with McCavish. A good second half for him in fourth place, but no doubt about the winner there, Stephen Lamb. Incredible performance there, incredible improvement from the entry time, 5:19.89.
So you line up there for heat number 3. Kieran Brown goes for City of Glasgow in lane 1. Sky Kabunchi of University of Aberdeen in 2. Murray Johnson of Ren 96 in 3. Alex Cantley of Bankery in 4. Jonathan McLean of East Lothian in 5. Lucas Innes of Fauldhouse in 6. Josh Nichol, University of Aberdeen in 7. And Lucas Craw of South Lanarkshire in lane 8. So the entry times here 5:26 to 5:28. So they're going to have their work cut out to match that 5:19. Good start in lane 5, Johnny McLean. I think he will touch first at the 50. 31 dead. Second up on Sky with Kieran another 3/10 back. Lucas Innes close as well. So that's your top 4 as we come down the second length of butterfly. The other's not that far back, but Johnny McLean has certainly opened up a good early lead here. Don't have any long course form for Johnny in this event. Third at Bells Hill in their meet in the winter time. But he is, what, a bit more than a body length up at the end of the butterfly, ahead of Lucas Innes, 109.01 and 110.72. Not quite as fast as Stephen Lamb's split. About half a second back on that. That's just not a lot, really. Lanes 3 and 4 pretty close. Murray Johnson, Alex Cantley, and also lane 1 in that mix, Kieran Brown, and also Sky Kalbunche as well. So 4 headed by lane 3, Murray Johnson in third place. Jonathan McLean is holding that advantage. I think he's probably building it. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, difficult to tell. We'll know for sure in a second. 41.13, yeah. Murray Johnson just closing on the leader, but certainly Lucas Innes falling behind very slightly. It was a good turn, actually. Got off that backstroke turn pretty well. So McLean will lead them through now, and well, Murray Johnson is the one who is coming back now, challenging for second position, as Lucas Innes just falls behind slightly. They'll come up to the halfway point. We'll just check the splits and see how they compare to that previous heat from Stephen Lamb. It's not far away at all. It's just slightly faster, I think, Duncan, by around about a 10th, Jonathan McLean. So if he can continue in that kind of vein that we saw in that previous heat. Again, we'll be looking at somewhere around about the 5:20 mark. Entry times, of course, are 5:26, 5:27, so good performances on the cards here, certainly for the leading three. But Lucas Innes, as soon as he got onto that breaststroke, well, he has pulled up alongside. And the three swimmers now really closing up. Murray Johnson, Jonathan McLean, Lucas Innes. Innes lost a little bit of ground on the backstroke, but as soon as he got onto the breaststroke, Duncan, well, he's come into his own, hasn't he?
Yeah, looks very strong on breaststroke, and Jonathan McLean, having had a decent lead, has seen that swallowed up now. He'll, I think, be glad to see the back of the breaststroke, because he'll be trying to hang on now, give himself a chance to come back in the freestyle. But Lucas will be really wanting to build this lead. Murray Johnson looked to be going with him for a while, but not anymore. He's sitting alongside Jonathan McLean. Also coming up now in lane 7 is Josh Nicol, and lane 1, Kieran Brown. But the Foldhouse swimmer really has made his move, and it looks like an emphatic move here for Lucas Innes. So, as so often, breaststroke the key to a good IM. You see him coming in there, getting that his best in as the head comes out of the water, 4:08.17. So the pace has dropped compared with the previous two heats now, but that's a nice 4-second advantage for Lucas to take into the freestyle, with Kieran Brown now in second, so that's a great breaststroke from him as well. And the early leader, Jonathan McLean, will be battling Murray Johnson and Josh Nicol for third. It's hard to see past Lucas Innes now.
Yeah, he certainly used that breaststroke to his advantage, opening up that big lead here. Let's see, let's hope he can bring it home close to that 5:20 mark. Not going to be too far away here for Lucas Innes. Kieran Brown still in second position. He also had a very good breaststroke, pulled him through into second place. And at third spot, Josh Nicol there on that far side over there in lane number 7. But here comes the man who is going to win this one, Lucas Innes from Foldhouse. What a good second half he had. Lost a little bit of ground on the backstroke, but as soon as he got into the breaststroke, he was away and clear. 5:18.59. Very strong finish there, and that's taken him under the 5:20. You'll be delighted with that. What a finish for second. So Kieran Brown and Josh Nicol, they swim for 5 minutes and 26 seconds. They're separated by 2 100ths at the end. And Kieran Brown getting the touch there, 5:26.83 against Josh Nicol's 5:26.85. And both of those swimmers will be delighted with those. A little bit of an improvement for them, but a big improvement for Lucas Innes at the head of the field. And the early leader, Jonathan McLean, in 4th place.
So we come up to the final heat of this male and open 400 individual medley. There's your lineup. So it's James Hume of Derwentside in lane 1, Lewis Lothian of East Lothian in 2, Cameron Hamill of North Ayrshire in 3, Richie Saunders of Warrender in 4, Jasper Broom of South Ayrshire in 5, Jude Mowbray of City of Glasgow in 6, Adam Phillips of Dundee City Aquatics in 7, and Dylan McShane from City of Glasgow in lane 8. 5:20 up to 5:26, the splits here. So best times will get them around about what we've seen as the winning times in the earlier heats. First to turn, Lewis Lothian, 31:30. But not a lot in this one. Lane 4, Richie Saunders, 14-year-old. 2 14-year-olds in the centre lanes here, Richie and Jasper. They're both in the mix. In fact, most of the field is in the mix. Just lane 3 is struggling a bit. And that might change, of course, as we go from stroke to stroke. Touch, well, not by much, goes to Richie Saunders, 1:09.12. Pretty similar split to the previous heat. Into the backstroke, looks nice and smooth on the backstroke. Just ahead of Lewis Lothian still.
Getting nice close-up shots there. We're getting at some few different angles, aren't we, at this championships over the last couple of days? Some level to the water shots that we saw this morning, some close-up shots of the people at the start, the swimmers at the start, and a good close-up technique shot there of the swimmer in the middle. Just about holding on to the lead, Richie Saunders, but he is being pressed now by Jude Mowbray. Up there in lane number 6, Jasper Broom. Also in lane number 5, coming back strongly, but it is still the early leader, Richie Saunders from Warren de Bass Club. As we said, 5:20 was his entry time. Wonder if he's going to be close to that. We'll keep an eye on his splits as they come down to the halfway point. Jasper Broom making a little bit of a comeback in the middle between the two leaders, Jude Mowbray and Richie Saunders. As they go over to the halfway, Saunders, well, he did extend his lead very slightly over Jude Mowbray, only by 100th of a second at the touch. Jasper Broom did indeed make a little bit of inroads here. And what can we see on the breaststroke? We did see that Cameron Hamill was a little bit off the pace on the butterflies, picked up during the backstroke, and now he's having to play catch up. That's the man in lane number 3. But looking like a good start to the breaststroke from Richie Saunders. He was challenged there at the end of that backstroke, but he seems to be pulling away, Duncan, on this breaststroke.
Yeah, Lewis Lothian dropped back a lot in the backstroke, but he's starting to make a move back in the breaststroke in lane 2. There you can see him coming into the shot. I think he's moved up into second place ahead of Jude Mowbray, but he's still around about 2 seconds back on Richie, but you can see there 46.3, 42.7. So Lewis Lothian is the one who is motoring at the moment. See if he can sustain that pace in the second half of the breaststroke. As we see them come down, he's now right up there with Richie. So these two are going to have a good contest. 14-year-old Richie Saunders against the 15-year-old Lewis Lothian. And we get the shot of Richie on his breaststroke. Has he been overtaken? Yes, he has. Once we go into the shots as they come to the turn, you can see it's Lewis Lothian now has got the advantage by a body length, 4:01.41. That is faster than we've seen in the previous heats. That was a smashing breaststroke 100 from Lewis. He now has to bring it home on the freestyle. Richie is the only one anywhere close to him. Can he come back in this final 100? Third place in lane 6 is Jude Mowbray, 16-year-old from City of Glasgow. That's looking like the 1-2-3, but well, we're not done yet. Coming up to the final turn, and maybe Richie is going slightly faster than Lewis here. We'll get a feel for the splits here. So a 36.8 and a 35.4. So yes, he is. So there's just a second in it. So Richie has got a good chance here of closing this down, unless Lewis Lothian can find something extra down this last length. Looks like he's still holding it, but there's half a length to go still. And Richie Saunders is continuing to push as they come down past the 15-metre markers. This is going to be a tight one. Also coming up, Jude Mowbray, but I don't think he'll catch the leaders. Looks like Lewis will hold on. He got pretty close there, but he found some extra speed on that last length to make sure of it. 5:13.69. So both of them well inside their entry time. 5:14.49 for Richie, 5:15.84 for Jude. All three of them well inside their entry times. Adam Phillips as well from lane 7. He takes over 3 seconds off his time. So all in all, some swimmers I think will be pretty pleased with their performances there. But Lewis Lothian taking the win, 5:13.69. That was an interesting one because he was way back after the backstroke. It's absolutely phenomenal breaststroke from him.
Yeah, it was fantastic there. It didn't look like he was going to hold on at the end, but he just found something, didn't he? The charge from Saunders on the freestyle, but it wasn't quite enough. There was a 1.5 seconds on that first 50 freestyle. You thought he's odds on to overtake Lewis Lothian, but it was Lothian who found something in the closing stages and some excellent times. Just shows you these swimmers getting pushed on to good times. I think all very good times. Times improved in the 4 heats of the men. And we move on now to the female. And in this first heat, we have Abigail Fagan from Bren 96 in lane number 1. Katie Cooper from Warren de Bass into Caitlin Adamson from Carnegie goes in 3. Ruby McInnes from South Ayrshire in 4. Lauren Brawley from Fauldhouse in 5. Charlie Adams from Highland in 6. And Erin Faulkner up there in lane number 7 from Bells Hill. So what is in prospect here for this first of the 4 heats? 5:51 to 5:54. That's where the entry times range from, with Ruby McInnes being the fastest entry time in 5:51.20. She's not leading at the moment though. That honour will go to Caitlin Adamson from Carnegie, 17-year-old in lane number 3, and Lauren Brawley also going well, the 16-year-old from Fauldhouse in lane number 5, 2 lanes up. So it's pretty much according to the seeding, apart from the leader at the minute. Well, there's kind of diagonal lines coming down from the 2 leaders at the minute towards the outside of the pool, but the centre lane swimmer, a little bit of work to do to get into contention. But as we saw in the male and open events we've just seen, it could all change about as they go through the stroke. So very, very close contest at the front. Not much to choose between the 2 leaders, Caitlin Adamson and Lauren Brawley. They are almost in sync there as they go up to the first turn in the backstroke.
Yeah, just looking to see if some of the ones behind are making a bit of a move, and I think Katie Cooper is in lane 2, and she is picking up the pace compared with the 2 in front of her, so we'll get a sense of that at this turn. It still is Caitlin Adamson leading the way, so you can see there a 47.3 but a 44.0 for Katie, so she picked up a lot of ground there on that first half of the backstroke. Some good turns from the 2 in front of her in the middle of the backstroke, so that's holding that lead of about a body length. Also pushing on well, lane 6 is Charlie Adams, and lane 1 Abigail Fagan. Charlie from Highland and Abigail from Ren 96, the Renfrewshire based team. Paisley and thereabouts, Johnson and places like that. But, well, we've got a change of leader at halfway, because Lauren Brawley has just sneaked ahead of Caitlin Adamson by half a second. 2:48.13 against 2:48.64. Katie Cooper another second or so back. Now we'll find out who the breaststrokers are, because this is pretty close here. There's, what, 5 swimmers, all within a body length or so, and maybe others to join them. It looks like Ruby McInnes, who was well back early in the fly, is moving up well in lane 4, and Erin Faulkner as well over in lane 7. So suddenly we've got 7 swimmers, all 7 swimmers with a chance here.
It's a cracking race, isn't it? Ruby McInnes was 7th there, and she's come through to 5th, but she has really closed the gap. Look at that, 47.05. Abigail Fagan takes up the running, 49.33. McInnes coming through in the centre, just going ahead of Caitlin Adamson now. And lane number 6 is Charlie Adams, who's having a good tussle with Erin Faulkner as well. And, well, some of the early leaders now dropping to the back as they go through on this breaststroke. Ruby McInnes especially has really picked up here in the centre lane. But where is it going to go on the freestyle? Have the breaststrokers spent too much energy getting themselves back into contention? Who has got something left in the tank for the freestyle? First to the wall, Erin Faulkner, Charlie Adams next to her in second, Fagan and McInnes very close. Caitlin Adamson now down into 5th, but where is this one going to go, Duncan? It's, well, the top 4 stretching away there in that second 50 on the breaststroke. And, well, looks like the 2 on the far side looking very good. Charlie Adams coming past Erin Faulkner now. And don't forget about Fagan right down here at the bottom.
Yeah, this is, well, maybe down to 3 now. And see as we come to the turn, Abigail Fagan there on your right-hand side. Well, she has dropped back. Charlie Adams now has the lead, 5:09.56, and that's a nice sub 40 for her last 50. The only one to go under the 40, other than Katie Cooper, is quite a long way back. So down the stretch here, lane number 6, Charlie Adams of Highland. We talked about Highland this morning putting in some good performances, and if Charlie can hold off the others, this will be another good performance here. Erin Faulkner has been strong in the second half, that big black S on the red and white cap. And this is really close. Look at this. Erin Faulkner, what a finish from the Bellshill swimmer. And she comes through 37.3 for her final 50. 5:47.66. That's another good improvement. She was entered on 5:53, so taking 6 seconds off her entry time. A very strong finish as well. Charlie Adams there, but unfortunately we have a disqualification. Abigail Fagan in lane 1 is disqualified for technical infraction. I do enjoy a 400 Diane, don't you, Paul?
That was a good one, wasn't it? I thought it was going to be extremely close in the first 50 of that breaststroke, and everybody was in contention with the 7, but the breaststrokers pulled away in the second 50 and pretty much held on to the end there, but a cracking finish there from Erin Faulkner to take that one. As we go into the second heat, we are missing, I think, no one actually. Are we missing anyone? No, I think we've got everyone. Connie Hart goes in lane number 1. Ellie Titlow goes in lane number 2, so South Ayrshire and Geary. Sophia Filoni from Montefieth goes in lane number 3. Erin McLaughlin from Geary goes in 4. Amy Jones from West Lothian in 5. Caitlin Morton from City of Glasgow in 6. Katie Robertson goes in 7 from Perth City, and Lauren Dunlop goes for Dumfries in lane number 8. The reaction time there for Katie Robinson didn't come up, so it looks like the electronic time is working now for that first split, certainly, so that's good to see. But she is next to the leader, Katie Robertson going in 7, but Caitlin Morton going off really well in lane number 6. Again, one of the youngsters in this field, Caitlin Morton, 14 years of age, leading them through. 2 other 14-year-olds in this one on either side of the pool. In 1, Connie Hart from South Ayrshire, and in 8, Lauren Dunlop from Dumfries. But it is Caitlin Morton, as you can see from the splits, certainly fastest second 50 there on the butterfly, and looking pretty comfortable on the backstroke as well.
Yep, she's looking good in lane 6. Also lane 1, Connie Hart. So lane 6, City of Glasgow. Lane 1, South Ayrshire. So the west of Scotland dominating this one, from Sophia Falone from Montefieth, just outside Dundee. But it is Caitlin. She was very strong in the fly, and she's holding that strength nicely in the backstroke. Coming up to the 150 turn, 2:02.29. So 44.9. And that is faster than Connie, faster than Sophia, faster than Erin. So Caitlin going nicely, just adding to her lead. Connie second, Sophia third. Maybe those two tightening up a little bit, and then just behind them in lane 4, Erin McLaughlin, but breaststroke still to come, so won't call anything at this point. But certainly Caitlin Morton is staking her claim in the first half here. There's a very strong, talented group of young girl swimmers from the City of Glasgow team, and Caitlin certainly one of them. 2:45.53 at the halfway mark. That is nearly 3 seconds faster than the previous heat, and a lead of about 4 seconds as well as they go to the breaststroke. Still up there in lane 1 though, Connie Hart. Don't discount her just yet. 14-year-old, so we've got 3 14-year-olds, the 2 leaders, plus Lauren Dunlop in lane 8. So they're the 3 youngest swimmers. Then we've got 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds as well. But Caitlin Morton, I think, is her lead reducing? Are we seeing lanes 3 and 4 starting to push on Sophia and Erin up to the 250 turn? Quite a lot will come out of this. 51.2 for Caitlin, so that is slower than Connie, a second and a half, and Erin McLaughlin also sub 50, and Katie Robertson, but Katie is quite a long way back, so the chances are she'll struggle to figure with the front runners. Caitlin Morton looking to hold on to this lead pretty well, not really coming under serious threat at this stage. What do you think? Is she going to be able to hold on to this? I think I put my money on her at the moment.
Yeah,
not that we're going to be involved in betting scandals here.
Right. That's right. Yeah, there's been too much of that in the news. Not that you and I in the betting scandals are likely to hit the news, but you never know. Yeah, she's got a good lead, 4:27.36. Connie Hart still in second there, and they did close up. Erin McLaughlin thought was making a little bit of a challenge there on the first 50 on the breaststroke, but she kind of stepped back a little bit in the second half, and it's going to be really tough for anyone to catch the leader. Now, Caitlin Morton is going away very strongly. She's going to hit this top turn, and she looks like she's increased her lead even more. Connie Hart going well in lane number 1, clear in second position. Erin McLaughlin trying to come back, but Caitlin Morton, look at that, 37.68 for her split. A couple of seconds faster than Connie Hart and Erin McLaughlin, who is just closing on Connie Hart, but I don't think it's going to be enough there as they come down to this final 50. Another good swim that we have seen here in these heats. We saw, I think, all 4 of the men's 400 IMs improve their time, so we're going to be in for another big time improvement here, I'm sure. 5:49 the entry time for Caitlin Morton, and look at this, 5:40.62. Well, that's another great swim there. 9 seconds improvement for Caitlin Morton, almost 8.5 seconds, shall we say. Connie Hart in second, Erin McLaughlin through in third place. But look at the splits there, 35.58 for Caitlin Morton, extending that lead in the second 50 as well.
Yeah, that was very nicely done all the way through, really. I mean, a little bit weaker in the breaststroke, but not enough that anybody was able to make any impact whatsoever. And then once we got to freestyle, it was all over. Caitlin absolutely dominant, and she'll be very happy with that time of 5:40. There was some enthusiastic applause from behind our commentary position, so there's obviously some Caitlin Morton fans there, and it's good to see them getting a good result from their girl. On to heat number 3. The lineup: Lauren Cantley of Bankery in lane 1, Katie Ray of Geary in 2. 3 is Amelia Burrell of Glenrothes, Rebecca Reid for Warrender in lane 4, Tessa Boyd of Geary in 5. 6 is Isla Petrie of Monifieth. Emily Thompson goes to Perth City in 7, and Kayla Johnson all the way from Lerwick in lane 8.
I was trying to think this morning about who would be the furthest swimmer away, but that swimmer from Western Australia probably takes it, I would think. I stopped thinking after that.
It'd be pretty tough to beat that, wouldn't it?
Shetland,
I think you'd have to be the moon, pretty much.
Pretty much. No one from New Zealand or from Fiji or anywhere like that taking part, but anyway.
So good start from Rebecca Reid in lane 4. The Warrender swimmer is taking this one out nicely in the butterfly. Finalist in national age groups and East District age groups. And she has got around, 2 meters of a lead from the pack. The others all pretty close, all 7 of them behind Rebecca. Rebecca, 14-year-old. We've got 3 14-year-olds. The youngster, Katie Ray, a 13-year-old. And the oldest swimmer, 17-year-old Tessa Boyd. Rebecca 1:13.78. That's the fastest 100 fly split we've seen. Leads by over 4 seconds. So setting up a really good platform. When we saw that with Caitlin Morton in the last heat, that she built up a good lead in the butterfly and never let it go. So See whether Rebecca can do that as well.
Certainly stretching that lead at the minute, maybe coming back in lane number 3, Amelia Burrell from Glenrothes. We talked about her this morning, Glenrothes swimmer. She swam really well from the outside lane, the 200 breaststroke, so we know she's going to be strong when they hit the breaststroke element of this individual medley, and she's given herself a chance here. Just closing slightly on Rebecca Reed, Rebecca Reed's lead even.
A Reed lead.
There, Burrell now probably got just about clear water between her and the rest of the field as she just tries to claw back the advantage from the Warrender swimmer. Two 14-year-olds next to each other in lanes 3 and 4. But they've had some battles in the age group events in the East District over recent years. So this could be a good one in prospect here as they come to halfway. Rebecca Reed looking for the wall there.
Yes, just looking at that, Amelia Burrell actually beat Rebecca Reed in East District age groups. Amelia was 3rd and Rebecca was 6th. So, well, we'll see how this works out. As you said, Amelia, very strong breaststroker, and we've seen that already. That long stroke as she goes there, very much a 200 breaststroke. We were talking about that this morning, weren't we? About that different technique for the longer breaststroke, and that serves you well in a 400 IM because you really got to apply that distance mentality. Because even though you're swimming 100 of each stroke, because you're doing it from the breaststroke, you've already swum 200 meters of fly and backstroke, so you're pretty tired by this point, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing a great job though. 47.22 for Amelia Burrell. Let's just check the splits. Look at that, Rebecca Reed, 54, dropping back there. Not many others under the 50-second mark, maybe just 1 or 2, but a little bit way down the field in the outside lanes. Kayla Johnson and Lauren Cantley. So Amelia Burrell doing a great job here, giving herself a big advantage as they get into the freestyle. Rebecca Reed now trying desperately to hold on to 2nd position. I think she's just getting overtaken now by Tessa Boyd, who goes in lane number 5. But Amelia Burrell has got a massive lead, and she's used that breaststroke very well indeed, as we thought she might, Duncan.
For 19.44 for her. And that is quite a bit faster than the first 2 heats, some 7-8 seconds. So she is really going well here. Entry time 5:45, so she'd need to do, what's that, 1:26. So 43, we're looking at anything less than 43 for this penultimate split. Will put her in a good position here. Still the race is on for 2nd, lane 5. Tessa Boyd, and lane 2, Katie Ray, the youngster, 13-year-old. So here we go, and it's 39. So this is going to be a big improvement for Amelia. Just under the 5 minutes at the 350 turn. Just turning 2nd is Tessa Boyd, but, well, there's not much in it between Tessa and Katie, and Rebecca Reed will be trying to come back, the early leader, of course. But, well, she'll be trying to push for a minor place here as Amelia Burrell just passing those 50-meter markers as she comes down way clear of everybody else. The clock just through 5:30. Reminder, her entry time 5:45. Look at that, 5:36.47, knocks 9 seconds off her time. So she's going to be happy with that. Tessa Boyd coming in for 2nd. Let's see what her time is, 5:47, just outside her entry time. Katie Ray, 3rd in 5:49.
Yeah, well done, Amelia. Win for Glenrothes swimmer.
We're never going to hear the end of it, all these good performances from Glenrothes. You might even think you had some connection to there.
Yes, well, no comment. I did see her mum. Her mum's here. Saw her at lunchtime coaching with the Glenrothes team, so she will be delighted with that performance from Amelia Burrell. Her mum, also a very strong breaststroke swimmer herself back in the day. We move on though to the next heat. Can anyone challenge that time posted by Amelia Burrell? final heat on their way. We have, again, reaction time. We're not going to see the reaction start there for lane number 7 for some reason, but we do have 8 swimmers in it. Eva Gordon in 1 from City of Glasgow, 13-year-olds, one of 3 13-year-olds in this one. Emily Neal from Heart of Midlothian goes in 2. Katie Aitchison from Warren de Bass, she's another one of the 13-year-olds, the red cap, challenging for the lead there in lane number 3. Lucy Morgan does have the lead. She goes for University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 4. Georgia Adamson in lane 5 for Carnegie. Kayla Smith going well in lane number 6. She is from City of Glasgow. Ava Smith is the final 13-year-old. 1 lane from the top from Geary in lane 7. And in that outside lane, Ara Gill from Carnegie, the second Carnegie swimmer in that outside lane, right at the top of the picture. But in the centre, lane number 4, Lucy Morgan will lead them through. She led them through 50, leads them through the 100 and extended her lead over Katie Aitchison and Ava Smith there. 1:11.96. That's a handy couple of second advantage there for Lucy Morgan. She has the fastest entry time, 5:39.00, and she's going to have to be somewhere close to that, in fact better than that, if she's going to challenge that time posted by Amelia Burrell in that previous heat. So it's all kind of closing up now as they come to the halfway point in the backstroke. Katie Aitchison going well, the 13-year-old with that red cap of Warrender, and also the other 13-year-old Ava Smith going pretty well in that lane number 7. So 2 13-year-olds coming back on the leader, Lucy Morgan, as they come down to the halfway point. But again, another good race in prospect, Duncan, in this early stages, and the breaststrokers, as we said, yet to come, so it could all change about.
Yep, so at the moment, Lucy is holding her advantage. It looked like Katie was going to come maybe up to catch her based on the first half of the backstroke, but Lucy seems to be holding her at bay just about, and also Ava Smith has certainly made good progress in the backstroke, so the 3 of them all pretty close. In fact, Katie just getting the touch by 500, so 3 swimmers under the 2:40 at the halfway mark, and that is faster, all 3 of them, than we saw in the earlier heat. So now we are into that all-important breaststroke, and still very much in the mix as well in lanes 1 and 2, Eva Gordon and Emily Neal. So we've got 5 swimmers. It looks like Ava Smith perhaps just edging into the lead now in lane 7, ahead of the leader through the first half, Lucy Morgan. And these 2 just pulling away from the 3 on the gallery side at the bottom of your screen on the right hand side. So up to the breaststroke halfway turn, Ava Smith certainly is the one who is making the move. 47.2 for her. Kayla Smith also on a 47. City of Glasgow swimmer, so the Smiths going well. But it is Ava at the front of the race, and that's where you want to be at this stage, opening up that lead. So once again, it's breaststroke that is opening up a good gap for Ava Smith. She was in the mix at halfway. She'd had a good backstroke, and that put her into position to mount this attack, and she's certainly doing it here in the breaststroke. So approaching the 300, she's going to have a lead of about 4 meters as we go to freestyle. 4:14.33, 5 seconds faster than the previous heat, with 100 free to go, and a lead of 3.5 seconds. Kayla Smith, cracking breaststroke from her to move up into second from way back in lane 6. So these 2, the 2 Smiths, 1 and 2. Lane 1, Eva Gordon in 3rd place. So all change in the second half. But, well, Ava Smith, I think, has this one sorted. Coming up to the final turn, she is around 3-4 meters up on Kayla. She goes through 4:53. Kayla 4:57, both on 39s. So 4 seconds the gap. Eva Gordon just into the 40s for her split. So it's going to be Ava Smith, Kayla Smith, and it looks like Eva Gordon for third, but we'll just keep an eye on that as they come down the final length. Lane 8, maybe Ara Gill is doing her best to try and challenge that, and also Emily Neal in lane 2, but you can see there up near the top of your screen, it is a good win for Ava, 5:31.11, and that's another big improvement for the Geary swimmer, 10 seconds inside her entry time. That is the fastest we've seen this afternoon. Put her not that far away from the B final. She I think, put her in something like 21st, 22nd place. So if there'd been a C final, she'd have been there, but unfortunately there isn't.
13-year-olds?
Yeah, not
Ava
bad,
Smith.
eh?
That's pretty good indeed. And two 13-year-olds featuring in the top 3 there. So Ava Smith, Kayla Smith in second, the 14-year-old. And Eva Gordon, another one of the 13-year-olds in third spot there. But great, so, and she looked just full of energy at the end there, didn't she?
Are you implying that she didn't go hard enough?
No, but she just looked
only a
strong.
10-second PB.
She just looked very strong at the end. Of course, Geary, a little bit of a pedigree in 400 IMs.
Yeah, they're very good at...
Scottish record holder still, and British record holder as well. Hannah Miley, of course. Some for Geary for many years before she moved over to Aberdeen. In fact, when did, was it 2 Olympics she did that with Geary? I think she did 3 Olympics in all. I think she was still with Geary for her second games in London. She certainly was with them in Beijing in 2008.
Of course, double Commonwealth gold medalist, first woman to do back-to-back golds in the same event in Commonwealth history for Scotland. 5 swimmers, though, go in our first heat. Now that's got me, yes, here we go, because we've only got 4 swimmers in our start list, so we've got an extra swimmer coming in. Looking at the scoreboard, that is Zachary Weatherhead in lane 2. So lane 3 is Logan Moffat, lane 4 Lucas Rattray, lane 5 Jasper Harrison, and lane 6 Dylan McShane. And it's Jasper Harrison, 32.69, just 2 lengths of the pool. So Zachary Weatherhead of Bankery has got that opportunity for a swim, but it's a close affair in the centre lanes here. So lane 4 is Lucas Rattray, lane 5 Jasper Harrison, and it looks like maybe Lucas just edging it. Also not far away, Logan Moffat in lane 3. So these 3, but I think it will be lane 4 is going to bring it in, and that is Lucas Rattray, 1:07.73 for him. And that's a nice improvement. Entry time 1:08.90 from Afford in Aberdeenshire.
Yeah, good swim there. 1:07 improvement of second or so, so that's nice to see in this 100 backstroke. There's the lineup for the next heat, second of the 6 heats. Tom Massey from Afford Otters, can he do what his teammate has just done there? He goes in lane 1. Theo Sterica from South Ayrshire in 2. Callum Ferguson, South Lanarkshire in 3. Daniel Convery, North Ayrshire in 4. Jamie Hay from Geary goes in lane number 5. Joseph Kane goes in lane number 6 for Carnegie, and Callum Trainer from Stirling Swim in lane number 7. So no swimmer taking the start in lane number 8. Again, entry times for these swimmers all in the 1:08 range. In fact, they're separated by just 0.3 of a second right across the board in terms of their entry times. 1:08.40 down to 1:08.70. So close contest in prospect here. Might be lane number 6 that's out ahead. Joseph Kane, 32.28 with Callum Trainer close behind. Sterica as well, 5/100s, but Joseph Kane came off that turn very well, the Carnegie swimmer, and 1:08.52 was his entry time, and he's certainly looking on course to be somewhere inside that. Very close contest in lanes 3 and 2. Callum Ferguson and Theo Sterica coming through for second, but Kane is going to take this one and take it comfortably. Look at that, 105.92, stretching the lead there in that second half, and that's an excellent performance there from Joseph Kane, the 16-year-old from Carnegie. Two Callums in second and third. Callum Ferguson, Callum Trainer separated by 0.1 of a second, and a further 0.1 behind was Theo Sterica, so close contest.
So we go on to heat number 3. There's your lineup. Josh Stephen of Warrender in 1, Rhys Edwards of Dumfries in 2. 3 is Adam Selby of Finns. 4, Elliot Stephen of Fauldhouse. 5, Logan MacDonald of Bells Hill. 6, Edward Mills of Highland. 7, Jerzy Pachowski of Hearts. And 8, Daniel Boyne from West Lothian. So 107s to low 108s, the range of entry times here. So that 105.9 from Joseph Kane is a tall order for these guys to try and match. Let's see if they can. Some of these swimmers have had some really good swims. Elliot Stephen, we've seen a number of times putting in very good performances. He goes in lane 4 as the fastest entry into this heat. But they're all pretty much in a line. Good start from Josh Stephen in lane 1, the 17-year-old, one of two 17-year-olds in this heat. Is he going to have the touch at halfway? Maybe lane 3. No, neither of them. It's Edward Mills, 32.61. Not quite as fast as the previous heat. Edward Mills from Highland did his time at the University of Aberdeen long course meet at the end of April. But this could go a number of ways here. Up in the mix, Logan MacDonald in lane 5. And still up there in lane 1, Josh Stephen, along with the halfway leader, Edward Mills. I think it might be Josh in lane 1, and it is 106.33. So he improves by 1.8 on his entry time. Confirmation of the other places there. Edward Mills second, 107.28. Elliot Stephen, 107.77 in third.
Yeah, another good improvement there from Josh Stephen there on the near side lane. Luke McCall goes in at lane 1 in this fourth heat. Warren de Bath swimmer next to his teammate Lewis Maxwell Powells. Michael Winship from the City of Glasgow in 3. Sky Kabonchai goes in lane number 4 for University of Aberdeen Performance. Harry Cook from Aberdeen Dolphin in 5. Alex Tinch from Stirling Swim in 6. Kieran Hayes from Aberdeen in 7. And Rowan Geary from Step Rock goes in lane number 8. So nice start there from Michael Winship from City of Glasgow after that early lead. Winship going in at lane number 3, right, going well right at the top there. Rowan Geary from Step Rock, and also closest to us as well, Luke McCall in lane number 1. So it is those 3. Michael Winship leads them through. Luke McCall in second, Rowan Geary in third place. So danger all over the pool here. It was a good turn from Harry Cook in lane number 5, bringing him back into contention. The early leader just dropping back into the pack now. And Harry Cook in lane number 5, Luke McCall in lane number 1, Rowan Geary in lane number 8. It's a very close contest here. Is it going to go to the near side lane? I think it might, you know. Just right at the bottom of the picture, Luke McCall, 107.12 for him. He improves that entry time by 9/100ths of a second, but he'll be pleased to make that slight improvement. Lewis Maxwell Powells comes through for second place, and Harry Cook in third, just 1/100th separating second and third.
Second race in a row for the win from lane 1. So is that the hot lane at the moment? We'll see how Dexter Suter gets on in this one, because he goes in lane 1 for Aberdeen Dolphin. 2 will be Finlay Bennett from South Lanarkshire. 3, Ivan Gallagher of Derwent Side. 4, Miller Cunningham of Glenrothes. 5 Ben Kelly of Warrender, 6 Jamie Ferries of Aberdeen, and 2 East Lothian swimmers, Finlay Brown in 7 and Ethan Mulligan in lane 8. Some of these swimmers really crawling their way out of the pool there, having put everything into it. But off we go with this nice start from Dexter Suter in lane 1.56, the fastest reaction time. And he goes in the white cap. Once again, it is lane 1. Off to a terrific start here for Dexter, the Aberdeen Dolphin. But they're all pretty much listed. 7 of the 8 are. Lane 2 has decided enough is enough. The South Lanarkshire swimmer, something went wrong with him, I think. I don't know what that was, but he stopped. So we are down to 7, all pretty close. You can see 31.5 to 32.5 for all 7 of them. And the early leader now back into 7th place. And looks like lane 3 and lane 7. Ivan Gallagher in 3, Finlay Brown in lane 7. In lane 5, we've got Ben Kelly not too far away as well. So it looks like between these 3, Finlay Brown perhaps pushing it on in lane 7, has the edge, but, well, he needs a good finish to make sure of it. Does he get it? Yes, he does. 1:05.39 takes the win there. So that's a improvement of just over a second on his entry time. So second place, Ivan Gallagher. Third, Ben Kelly. Finlay Bennett, of course, is disqualified. He decided enough was enough down the first length. So disqualification, technical infraction for him. I suppose not finishing the race is a technical infraction.
Well, that's it. I don't know what happened there. That was he seemed to get a decent reaction time, but he was never really in the race, so something must have happened at the start there. But he looks okay.
Something clearly went wrong there, yes, for him. So I hope he's okay.
And there's the lineup for the final heat. Kyle Mossman from the city of Glasgow in 1. John Mackay from Stirling University in 2. Austin McPherson from Geary goes in lane number 3. Reuben Pearson from Bellshill, he'll be in lane number 4. Oliver Charman from Mid-Sussex goes in lane number 5. Logan Scally from University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Adam Hill, Stirling Swim in 7. And Gregor Skinner from first in lane number 8. I think we have everyone in the pool, looks like it, for this final heat of the male and open 100 metres backstroke, heat number 6. Everyone away cleanly by the looks of things. His first to show, maybe lane number 2, John Mackay, with that decent start there. He leads them through his entry time, 105.28. That 105 in that previous heat, 105.3. So he's going to have to be bang on his entry time if he's going to challenge the time from the previous heat. But Mackay looks like he might lead them through here. 30.57. It's a good lead, half a second advantage over Adam Hill right up there in lane number 7. And the centre lane swimmer, Reuben Pearson, not far away in the middle, but Mackay looking pretty good. The 19-year-old from Stirling University just getting challenged here by Adam Hill up there in lane number 7. It's a good start for John Mackay, and he's led most of the way as they approach the final 15 metres or so. Is he going to hold on? Is it going to go to Adam Hill? Is Adam Hill stretching into the wall at the finish in 104.47? So well done, Adam Hill. A great second 50 for him. Get ahead of Reuben Pearson, who came through strongly in the second 50, and John Mackay as well, the long-time leader, who finishes in 3rd place in 106.12. Well, gave himself a chance, John Mackay, in that first 50, but he was just eclipsed by the 2 swimmers in the closing stages. And the female 100 backstroke swimmers are behind the blocks already. As you said, Duncan, the swimmers in the male and open event crawl themselves out of the water on that 100 backstroke. 8 heats of this 100 backstroke for female swimmers, and the 6 swimmers taking the start for heat number 1. Zara Denson from Monifieth In 2, Maddie Hull from Warren de Bass. In 3, Millie Colville from Dumfries. In lane number 4, Abby Mitchell from Elgin. In 5, Isla Macri from Best. In 6, and Caitlin Parnaby from Elgin in lane number 7. So, and right across the country here, 2 from Elgin, 1 from Montefieth, 1 from right here in Edinburgh, the Warrender swimmer, and 1 from Dumfries, and another one from the Borders, from in lane number 6 from the Best team, the Borders elite swim team. But as they go through, looks like it is Isla Macari from Best is the best at the first 50. Millie Colville in 2nd, Maddie Hull in 3rd. 1:13 is the entry time for all the swimmers in this heat. Let's hope we'll get a few swimmers dipping under that mark. Let's see how Millie Colville can do. Dumfries swimmer pulling through very strongly in the centre lane. There's the battle between Macrae and Parnaby in the outside lane, 6 and 7. But Millie Colville is going to come home, I think, to take this one. Only just, though. It was close at the end. 1:14 for her. So all the swimmers there just slightly outside their entry times of 1:13, but a good strong finish from Millie Colville to take that one. 1:14.40 ahead of Parnaby and Macari.
So a nice tight contest in the first heat. So move on to heat number 2. There's your lineup. Kate Nolan, East Lothian in 1. Chloe Merson of West Lothian in 2. Rebecca Somerville of Round 96 in 3. Caitlin Galbraith of Lerwick in 4. Katie Aitchison of Warren de Baths in 5. 6 is Christina Angelakis of East Lothian. 7, Olivia King from Aberdeen Dolphin. And lane 8, Lucy Morgan from University of Aberdeen. So a number of these swimmers have been pretty recently in the water. So let's see how they recover after a 400 IM to now do the 100 backstroke. Certainly Katie Aitchison was one of those in lane 5. The 13-year-old, youngest in the field. So off they go. A nice turn from start from Katie there. Nicely through the water, but Kate Nolan in lane 1, I think, has the edge coming down the first length. Down at the bottom of your screen for East Lothian, 15-year-old, 1:13.49 her entry time. Is she going to lead at the 50? There's a number of swimmers pretty close to her in lanes 5, 6 and 7, but through the turn it is Kate, 34.73. So good strong first 50 from her. That is about 8/10 faster than the previous heat, and a lead of about the same margin from the swimmers behind her. But here comes Katie Aitchison, Christina Angelakis as well in lane 6, trying to make ground here. Lane 3, Rebecca Somerville is pushing on well. So this is another pretty tight one. Can Kate Nolan hold on to this one? I think she probably can. It's a little difficult to tell from that shot, but now you can see she still has the lead, and she takes the win, 1:12.74. So good strong swim from her. Her entry time was 1:13.40, so she's nicely in that, 7/10 inside. So be happy with that to take heat number 2.
Yeah, another one from lane 1 taking the honours.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's the hot lane.
Yeah. So what can Isla Russo do? Renfrew swimmer, she goes in that hot lane in lane number 1. Emily McDougall will go for Highland in lane 2. Imogen Jarrett, that pink cap of Dundee City Aquatic, she goes in 3. Freya Headley from Steprock in 4. Ella Garrow from Elgin will go in lane number 5. Ailey McNichol from Glenrothes in 6. Olivia McManus from Highland in 7. And Beth Craik from Aberdeen in lane number 8. So who is going to take this one with entry times? Well, only all the entry times just split by 0.4 of a second. Lane 1 going well. Isla Russo living up to the billing there for that hot lane. Must be shorter than the rest. The pool must be on a slant or something. Like one.
Slant. There's still water in it.
Oh, yeah. She's going to lead, though, I think. Russo, she is indeed. 34.94. Great start from the swimmer from Renfrew Bass. Emily McDougall close behind, 1 and 2, leading the way. The Highland swimmer and the Renfrew swimmer. Looks like the Highlanders maybe just got the advantage there as they go down this second 50. Pink cap of Imogen Jarrett having a little bit of a tussle for second place with Ella Garrow of Elgin and Beth Creek up there from Aberdeen. But it's a good second 50. Emily McDougall from Highland. I think she's going to take this one. Is it going to be 1 and 2 for the near side lanes? It is indeed. 1:12.13 for McDougall. Russo just in there in second position. 1:13.32, 5/100ths ahead of Beth Creek. Well, it wasn't a win for lane 1, but it was good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, just 100th there between third and fourth as well, so really, really close there. As we go on to heat number 4. And they're all present. Madison Stewart, University of Aberdeen in 1, Sophie Adair of Stonehaven in 2, Jasmine Robertson of Aberdeen in 3, Anna Lawson of East Lothian in 4. 5 is Imogen Lowe of West Hill. 6, Millie Shaw of Billingham. 7 is Isla Dobson of City of Glasgow, and Maddie Barber goes for Highland in lane 8. 1:11s and 1:12s the entry times here. Quite a strong northeast of Scotland presence. Stonehaven, Aberdeen, West Hill. So 4 of the 8 swimmers from the Aberdeenshire area. Good start in lane 4. Anna Lawson of East Lothian, mainly known as a sprint freestyler. Let's see what she can do here. Up there with her in lane 3, Jasmine Robertson of Aberdeen in the white cap, and up at the top of your screen, Maddie Barbic off to a decent start. But really, 6 swimmers in a line here. Might be Jasmine turning first. It is 34.96, pretty much the same split as the previous heat. So can she finish strongly down the second half here? Well, still not a lot in it. Going very nicely. Maddie Barber up at the top of your screen. Maybe she's just edging this one. The Highland swimmer did her time at the University of Aberdeen meet. Can she improve on it here in Edinburgh? Is she going to take the win? Oh, it's going to be so, so close. All on the finish. Who gets the touch? Jasmine does. Really picked up the pace. You'd see Jasmine and Maddie on identical splits there. 37.24s. Ida Dobson was a bit faster, so was Imogen Lowe, but not quite enough to get there. And just 200ths between the two of them. But Jasmine just getting her fingernails to the wall first. Very, very tight.
Oh,
Maddie, though, was inside her entry time by 3/10, so that's more progress for her.
Yeah, well matched. As you said, Duncan, exactly the same split with 2 100s separating them. At the halfway, 2 100s separating them at the finish. So well matched pair in heat number 4. We have heat number 5 now. Elizabeth Morgan from Highland in 1. Caitlin Frame will go in 2. From first, Charlotte Chadwick from Kinross will go in lane number 3. Faulthouse's Alexandra Miller in 4. Evie Lamont from Glenrothes will go in lane number 5. Isabella Cohn from Hard Midlothian in 6. Sophie Steele from South Ayrshire in 7. And Emily Dickens from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 8. Again, entry times here very, very tight indeed. About half a second separating the whole field. It's a good start. And here in lane number 2, Caitlin Frame off to very quick start. And she goes through, probably leading them into the wall, but might just be headed by the likes of Emily Dickens up there in lane number 8. Isabella Cohn in 6. It's Cohn actually who gets first to the wall. Frame down in 3rd behind Dickens, but there's not much in it at all. That's 0.2 of a second between these leading three. Isabella Cohn in lane number 6 now. Again, coming under pressure. Caitlin Frame still right there. Emily Dickens as well. Swimmers in the middle, 4 and 5 starting to come through. Alexandra Miller and Evie Lamont. They're not going to catch Caitlin Frame though. I think it might be Frame on this second 50. Into the wall now, and Caitlin Frame will take that one by around about an arm stroke ahead of Isabella Cohn. 1:10.96 for Caitlin Frame. She'll be pleased with that one, dipping under the 1:11 mark. And Sophie Steele it was in third place, but nice second 50 there for Caitlin Frame to take that victory in heat number 5.
Yep, nice to see our first swimmer swimming first.
Yes. Oh, I missed that. Good job.
Saved it for me. Thank you very much. I'll take the gift. Heather Clubb then in heat 6 goes in lane 1 for Aberdeen Dolphin. 2 from South Tyneside is Abby Orr. Greta Jokopitaiti of Derwentside in 3. Iona Henderson, South Lanarkshire in 4. Katie Lowe of Glenroth is in 5. Rosie Liston of City of Glasgow in 6. Jessie Norris of Best in 7 and Emma Silcock of First in 8. So we've got swimmer from Best, swimmer from First. Who wins?
Oh. That's going to be the battle, isn't it?
Lanes 7 and 8, but the fastest times, 2 swimmers on 1:10.20, Iona and Katie in lanes 4 and 5, but they're just being held here. Not sure what the issue is. Problem with the ledge there in lane number 2, so our referee coming over, Bill Brash, to sort that out. Seems to be okay now. Nice cap from South Tyneside, isn't it, with that star on it? I like that.
Yeah.
That's very original.
A bit of a closer look.
So I think we're ready to go now. And off they go. So as I said, 2 swimmers on 1:10.20 in the centre lanes, up to 1:10.90 on the outside lanes. Most of these swimmers are on times with a 0 on the end, and that to me implies that they're short course conversions. So always pretty tough to swim to your short course conversion time. Let's see if they can do this. Heather Clubb though off to a strong start in lane 1. Should have known it wasn't going to be first or best, it was going to be the swimmer in the hot lane. 33.47. And that is quite a bit faster than we've seen, over a second faster than the previous 2 heats. She's got a lead of over half a second from Greta Jokopitaiti in lane 4. And then lanes 5 and 6, Katie Lowe and Rosie Liston. They are coming back now at Heather Clubb, so can she keep this one going in the last 15 metres? Greta in particular is now mounting a serious threat. It's going to be close here. Also moving up is Katie Lowe in lane 5. I think it's going to be Greta taking the win. She does. Really strong second half there to take the win. 1:10.69. So 3/10 faster than the previous heat. And just a couple of tenths away from her entry time. Heather Clubb second, Katie Lowe third. And the answer is Jessie Norris is best versus Emma Silcock first. In 7th and 8th.
There's heat number 7. There's another first swimmer in this one, Lucy McLeod. The first name that we say. Lane number 1, Amber Littlejohn from University of Aberdeen Performance. Into Caitlin Peebles, he slowed in 3. Gemma Brown, Carnegie in lane number 4. Jocelyn McKenzie from Glasgow Uni in 5. Alex Coy from Warrender Baths, he goes in lane number 6. Kelly Smith from Aberdeen Dolphin in 7. And Casey Dixon from South Lanarkshire out there in lane number 8. So Amber Littlejohn there with a fast reaction time in lane number 1, 0.47. That's very fast indeed. But not much in it here in the early stages. Maybe Kalia Smith possibly from Aberdeen Dolphin as we look along the line. And she's get just a slight advantage there. Maybe just ahead of the others in the field. Kalia Smith going in lane number 7. Coming back strongly in lane number 3 is Caitlin Peebles, and she's first to the wall. Jocelyn McKenzie going well in the centre. Smith still in 3rd position, ahead of Alex Coy and Lucy McLeod and Casey Dixon, who are in close attendance. But a good turn there from Caitlin Peebles, maybe taking her a little bit away from the others. Coming back strongly though is Jocelyn McKenzie in lane number 5, and also right in between these two, Gemma Brown. But it does look like Caitlin Peebles now might just take this one. We'll see. Keep an eye on the clock for Caitlin Peebles. 109.49 was our entry time. She's just outside that, but in the 109 range, so she won't be too unhappy with that one. Caitlin Peebles 109.88 with Gemma Brown. She did finish strongly to come through into 2nd, and McKenzie in 3rd spot.
So one more backstroke heat to go. Heat number 8. You'll line up there. Abigail Crawford for City of Glasgow in 1. Madison Cool, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Anna Kachenko for City of Glasgow in 3. Lucy Lucas in lane 4 for Edinburgh University. 3 Warrender swimmers. Caitlin Reid in 5. May Rogers in 6. Naomi Wilson in 7. And making up the field, Melissa Turnbull, Sterling Swimming in lane 8. Now Lucy Lucas on a 105.90. So I think she seemed to remember she was scheduled to go this morning. So obviously there was a good reason why she wasn't there, and she's been allowed a chance of a swim this afternoon. If she can get to that sort of time, then that would put her into the B final. So we'll keep an eye on lane 4. Actually for Lucy, I know this is her swan song. She's moving on from university into a working life after this one. So we wish her well with that, but she's up there, but so is Caitlin Reid beside her. Let's see who gets the touch. I think it's going to be Caitlin. Oh no, it's neither of them. It's Melissa Turnbull, 33.79, but it's all pretty close here. Coming out of the turn, who can really muster a strong second half? Doesn't look like Lucy is going to match her entry time, so the action over in lane 8, Melissa Turnbull. Haven't seen a lane 8 win for a while. Lane 6, May Rogers not far away. And lane 5, Caitlin Reid. But who is going to take the win here? Coming up strongly now, May Rogers in lane 6. Look like she's got it. And 109.62, she takes the win. Second, Abigail Crawford. And third, Anna Kachenko.
Yeah, it was another close contest there. And as we move into the 200 breaststroke, so 5 heats of the male and open 200 meters breaststroke, 5 heats of the women as well. There's a lineup for the first heat. Brogan Smith from Glenrothes goes in lane number 1. Murray Gallagher and Andrew McKendrick go for Warren de Bass in 2 and 3. Charlie Fraser from Heart of Midlothian goes in 4. Liam McRae from Highland in 5. Finlay Brown from East Lothian goes in lane number 6. Hayden Hayes from Aberdeen goes in 7. Liam Warmer goes for East Lothian in lane number 8. So 200 breaststroke, as I said, 5 heats of this one. The entry times 252.90 down to 254.81. So Finlay Brown off to a decent start here in lane number 6. Aidan Hayes not too far behind as well.
Finlay Brown has had some impressive swims this weekend. He's, I think, won every heat he's been in so far, and he's putting in some good improvements on his entry time. So let's see if he can do that in this 200 breaststroke. Certainly starting off really well. East Lothian swim up from Aidan Hayes in lane 7 in the white cap. So Finlay has got a pretty healthy lead here. What's that, about 4 meters? 1:15.21. So 39.8 against 43s for the swimmers behind him. So he means business here. So if he can go sub-40s in his next two splits, this is going to be an absolutely massive PB.
It's always a sign, isn't it, when you're winning your heats, that you're making big improvements on your entry times? Because generally, it's not been that many heats that we've seen a big people not get close to their entry times, the winner not get close to their entry times. So always a good sign if you're at the head of the field that you're there or thereabouts. And Finlay Brown, as you said, Duncan, it's been on great form here.
So pace dropped to 42 there, so perhaps just feeling that very fast start. But see whether he can hold that pace. Even that would give him a 240 if he can hold another 42, which would bring him in some 13 seconds inside his entry time. So that lead is no longer increasing, I don't think, but it's certainly not under threat. Lane 7, Aidan Hayes has been second all the way through, and he's going to hold that from Brogan Smith in lane 1. But here is Finlay, nice shot of him coming into the finish. So great stuff there, 2:39.93, massive improvement. Has to be pleased with that. How do you do that? 13.5 second improvement on a 200 breaststroke as a 17-year-old. Terrific stuff. Something has just clicked, clearly. Aidan Hayes second, 2:45.03, and that's a big improvement as well, 9 seconds. And Brogan Smith, 8 seconds inside his entry time. So it's absolutely cracking swims in that first heat.
Yeah, some excellent swims there. Finlay Brown tops the tree there on 2:39.93. And just looking at the 5 heats, Duncan, there's only one swimmer, I think 2 swimmers inside that 2:39.93 in all of the heats this afternoon.
Yeah, impressive stuff there from Finlay. Now let's see what they can do in heat number 2. Line up Jamie Hay of Geary in 1, Arshan Jafari Mayer of Aberdeen in 2, James Hume of Derwentsside in 3, Ryan Crabb of Ren 96 in 4, Lucas Snowden of Aberdeen in 5, Lucas Craw of South Lanarkshire in 6, Duncan Curry of University of Aberdeen in 7, and Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson of Derwentsside in lane 8. Awful lot of H's there. Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson.
Do you think he's related to Evie? Is that just
I would imagine he is. It can't be too many O'Halloran Hutchinsons in the Derwentsside area.
You never know. Might be a very common name in Derwentsside. I'm sure someone will tell us. Right, Crabb off to that good start, 36.40. And it is O'Halloran Hutchinson right in the outside lane. You said you hadn't had a victory for lane 8 for a while. I wonder if we're going to get one here as they come down to the halfway point. Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson. You have to be careful to see that. You probably have to see it very deliberately. But he's having a good swim in that outside lane. He's not quite on a par with Ryan Crabb as they come to the halfway point, but not much in it at all. Just 0.3 of a second. Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson makes up a little bit of the gap there. A second advantage there on that second 50 as they go into the second half.
So they're not matching Finlay Brown's time because he was very fast in the first half, but there's a good competitive race going on here with Ryan Crabb with the narrow lead from Harry in lane 8. Not that far back in lane 2 is Arshan Jafari Mayer. But it looks like it will be Ryan Crabb of Ren 96 against Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson of Derwentsside. Let's see who has the touch at the 150. I think it will still be Ryan. Let's see if it is. Nope, got that wrong. It's Harry, 2:05.19 against 2:05.88 for Ryan. Arshan, 2:07 in third place. So it is the two black caps who are going to battle it out down the final length. Ryan trying to get his lead back, going past those halfway markers pretty much at the same time. So this is, I think, going to be very, very tight between these two. Nobody's going to catch them. So it's battle on between the two of them. Harry, I think, maybe just has the edge in lane 8, but we're talking, oh, I don't know. Let's see as they come in It's all going to be about nailing that finish, and it just goes to Ryan. 2:49.53 against 2:49.85. Both of them inside their entry times. Very competitive race there. Arshan Jafari Mev 2:52.29 in third place.
Yeah, excellent swim there at the front of the field from those two. It was a good contest. They wouldn't necessarily been aware of each other. They were split by 4 or 5 lanes, but they ended up with a good contest for us to watch. Next heat number 3 of the 5. Luke Thompson from Bathgate in 1. Jamie McBain from Devon in lane 2. Kieran Brown from City of Glasgow goes in lane 3. Finlay Byrne from first in lane number 4. Ian Henderson, South Lanarkshire in 5. Caleb Simpson from Montrose in 6. William Lawson from Billingham in 7. And Logan Moffat from Stirling Swim goes in lane number 8. Nice start there from Caleb Simpson, I think. Lead them probably through in lane number 6. Luke Thompson also going well in lane 1. Could be those two. Just split by about 0.4 of a second. Ian Henderson in the middle going well, 38.84, just a second behind Luke Thompson, but danger all across the pool here. There's a big line of about 6 swimmers behind the leading 2. Not really much in it at all, but it is lane 6, I think, who's just about heading it at the moment. Caleb Simpson, that very early lead, just held on to that one ahead of Luke Thompson, but Caleb Simpson might just have the advantage here. That angle, until they level out, a little bit deceptive. And here it is, that's the picture we need at the finish end as Caleb Simpson goes through the halfway point, and he's extended that lead, Duncan. 1.5 seconds he took from Luke Thompson on that 50.
So it certainly looks like it's these two. They are faster, a little bit faster than the previous heat, but still not matching Finlay Brown's amazing swim from the first heat. But this race is not over yet between Caleb and Luke. But good, strong breaststrokers. Mainly think of Luke as a fly swimmer. He's a very strong fly swimmer, but showing some very nice breaststroke technique here. Swimming for Bathgate in West Lothian. Over in lane 8, Logan Moffat of Stirling Swimming, I think just has third from the swimmers in the centre, but it's Caleb and Luke, very similar. 50 splits there. Luke slightly faster, but still a second and a bit behind. So let's see whether he can continue to work that lead that Caleb has down. Certainly going to be between these two. Logan Moffat looks set for third in lane 8, and he's finishing pretty strongly in lane 8. And then we got the 3 red caps in lanes 3, 4 and 5, all battling for 4th place. But, well, Caleb is going to hold on to this pretty comfortably. He's found another pace in the latter stages here, and in the end he's about 3-4 meters clear. 2:46.77, very nice 43.3 for his final 50. So he's right there on his entry time, in fact inside it by nearly 2 seconds. So good stuff from Caleb, 2:46.77, with Luke Thompson 2:49.06. He's 7/10 inside his entry time as well. So nice PBs from our leading pair there. Heat number 4. And the line-up with everybody there. In lane 1, Jonathan Cumming of Finns. 2, Andrew Patterson, City of Glasgow. 3, Luke Littler of Derwentside. 4 is Kyron Chapman of Glenrothes. Samuel Beetham goes for first in 5. Taylor Adam of Bankery in 6. Alex Cantley of Bankery in 7. And Michael Gavin of University of Aberdeen in lane 8. Good start in lane 4 from the Glenrothes swimmer Kyron Chapman. He has slight edge over the swimmers either side of him. Luke Littler in 3, Samuel Beetham in 5. Also up there in lane 8 is Michael Gavin. But in fact, Samuel Beetham getting the touch at the 50, 36.94. So he's, well, it does look like lane 4 was in the lead. It was maybe not, did no split come up for lane 4? I'm not sure.
There was a split, I think it did come up for lane 4 there, but I'm not sure, it was all very tight. Maybe there's just a little bit of a delay in the splits coming up. We have seen a couple of the lanes not registered times, but not too much. Maybe just at the start we've noticed a couple of lanes not getting their reaction times, but generally things have been pretty good technically this week, so that's been excellent. Samuel Beetham definitely in the lead this time. Luke Littler, Michael Gavin still going well, right up there, and Kyron Chapman in 4th place. But it is certainly lane number 5, Samuel Beetham with that very swift second 50, taking him out ahead. Can he hold on to that pace? It looks like Kyron Chapman is maybe just leading the charge, possibly, ahead of lane number 6, Taylor Cadam. It's very, very close indeed for second position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swimmers all in a row, but Samuel Beetham is the man who has the advantage, and I think he's maybe extended that lead that he had. 43.36. In fact, Patterson just closing the gap slightly, but the rest falling back slightly.
So can any of this group of swimmers mount an attack on Samuel Beetham down the final length? The most likely one looks to be Kyron Chapman in lane 4 in the white cap, and he is really working this lead down now. So 20 meters to go, and suddenly it's getting tight. Samuel will be very aware of Kyron's presence there, but can he do anything about it? As they come down there, you can see them all working so hard, and what a finish from the Glenrothes swimmer. Kyron Chapman with that very up and down stroke was very effective down that last leg. 39 his split at the end there, and takes the win in 2:44.84. Well, he suddenly left the best till last. He was well back, really, halfway through that race, but came storming back down that last length to take the win. Samuel Beetham 2nd, Andrew Patterson 3rd. Another Glenrothes swimmer doing well. What is going on?
What a club. They're doing really well today, and that was a cracking finish, wasn't it? From Kyron Chapman. He just picked off Samuel Beetham on that final 50 metres. Right in contention, but really had great strength on that final 50, and it's the final heat of this 200 breaststroke. I wonder if we're going to get more fireworks here from this one. Aaron Machin goes in the near side lane from City of Glasgow. He goes in lane 1. Ewan Gray from Step Rock in 2. It's Hamish Coates from Best in lane number 3. Aidan Williamson from Highland in 4. Ryan Potter from the England Talent Performance, the Para squad. He goes in lane number 5. James Aberdeen from Bankery goes in 6. Hayden Sterling from St Thomas goes in 7. And Aklava Singh from Scotia goes in lane number 8. Wow. James Aberdeen from Bankery, Hayden Sterling from St Thomas. Could have been James Aberdeen from Aberdeen, Hayden Sterling from Stirling, but anyway. I digress. It put me off there reading that. Anyway, into this swim here. James Aberdeen is the one who's leading, ahead of Ryan Potter, the para swimmers, who swims in the SB14 classification, swimmer with an intellectual impairment. It's not a para event, this 200 metres breaststroke, so no para final for this one. 200 breaststroke not conducted for para swimmers in the major international events. There are records held for the para swimmers over 200 breast, but not conducted at the major international competitions. But he's going well in lane number 5. Ryan Potter just headed at the moment by the two along either side of him, Duncan, Aidan Williamson and James Aberdeen.
Yeah, and it's Aidan who's having a good meet. We've talked about Highland quite a lot today as well, and it looks like Aidan is going to lead them through the 150. Remember that time way back in the first heat from Finley Brown, he was a 157.52, so this is the first time we've been anywhere close to that. 157.92 for Aidan here, so he could edge faster than Finley Brown with a strong final 50 here, and well, he certainly is looking like he is putting in a strong last 50 metres. Still a good contest for second place. So James Aberdeen now coming under pressure from Hayden Sterling, and just behind them Ryan Potter. So these three having their own private battle, but here comes Aidan Williamson. Let's check on the time, 2:37.67. So he really took that apart down that final 50. And that was a really good swim there from Aidan. Entered 2:39, so Nate takes over a second and a half off that. Hayden Sterling in second. I think I saw a DQ come up there, so we'll just check on that. And there it is. In fact, Ryan Potter, unfortunately, is disqualified for a technical infraction. So James Aberdeen is the one who takes third. But Aidan Williamson, fastest from this afternoon's heats, 2:37.67. A very nice swim from the Highlander. So we stay with 200 breaststroke, and we have 5 heats for the females. And there's the lineup for the first of them. So we have in lane 1, Grace Prain of Monifieth. In lane 2, it's Erin Faulkner from Bells Hill. Ava Smith of Geary in 3. 4 is Grace Powell of Elgin. Mirren McPhee of Faulthouse in 5. Caitlin Peebles of East Lothian in 6. And Amy Weatherburn from West Lothian in lane 7. So just saw a very nice backstroke from Caitlin Peebles, so we'll see whether she can now show what she can do in 200 breaststroke. Goes in lane 6 there, the fastest entry time, Grace Powell of Elgin, 3:06.66. In fact, joint fastest, because exactly the same time with Mirren McPhee in lane 5, and Mirren off to a decent start in lane 5. So in lane 2 is Erin Faulkner. So right, Erin Faulkner had a cracking finish. I can't remember, was that in the 400 IM?
Yeah, 400 IM. She had a good second half there. She had a very good freestyle at the end of the 400 IM just earlier this afternoon. So, and she leads in the early stages. Looked very strong in the closing of that 400 IM. Erin Faulkner representing Bells Hill. Erin Faulkner, the oldest in this field actually, at 18 years of age. So Ava Smith back in again, the Geary swimmer. We saw her in the 400 IM as well, the 13-year-old. Had an excellent swim at the front of the field in that 400 IM. As they come down to the halfway point, it looks like it is going to be Erin Faulkner who leads them through. Let's just check the split here at the halfway point. We've seen some cracking swims all the way through, but some of the swims in the very first heats have kind of led the way for 2 or 3 heats to follow. So I wonder if Erin Faulkner is going to set a target for the others to follow here. 1:28 at that halfway point. So well on course to be close to the 3-minute mark, maybe just over the 3-minute mark on a 1:28 split, but we shall keep an eye on her progress. Entry time 3:07 into this heat. Grace Powell going well in lane number 4 for Elgin, the 15-year-old, and Ava Smith right there in the mix in 3rd place.
So coming up to the 150, this will give us a sense of the pace that she's going at here. So split of 47, so 3 minutes maybe is looking a bit tough. She certainly will have to pick up the pace down this final 50 to do that. She's still got a lead of over 3 seconds though over Grace Powell, so that's looking set certainly for Erin to take the win here as we zoom in on her. Looking nice and controlled there, doesn't look stressed at all, so maybe she can pick up the pace here. That shot makes you think that Ava Smith is close, but she's not really. It's just the camera angle, and there you get a better view of where everybody is. And there again, so it is still Grace Powell in 2nd, Ava Smith in 3rd, but no doubt who's going to take this one. Erin Faulkner did pick up the pace, just not quite able to get to the 3 minutes, but not far away from it, and that's a good PB, 3:02.36. So she's entered on 3:07.15, so Erin Faulkner putting in a very good performance there. Grace Powell's second, just ahead of Ava Smith, who was closing fast there. You can see a second faster on that last 50 than Grace, but didn't quite manage to get up with her, with Caden Peebles in fourth place. But Erin Faulkner with a 3:02 taking the first heat.
That was good from Erin Faulkner, led from start to finish. What we're going to have in heat number 2 of the 5 heats, Ailsa Chan from South Lanarkshire in lane number 1, Imogen Barrett from Bren 96 in 2, Georgia Adamson from Carnegie goes in lane number 3, Ruby Birch from Hoylake goes in lane number 4, Katie Ray in lane number 5 from Geary. Don't think we have the swimmer in 6, but we have Katie Robertson from Perth City in 7, and we have Grace Blair from First in lane number 8. A swimmer from Hoylake. I think that's the first time I've seen a Hoylake swimmer. She maybe swam yesterday when I was that around. Ruby Birch, yeah, from Hoylake. Famous for the golf, of course, isn't it? Hoylake.
Yep.
They held the Open. Not just a short while ago, I think. Hoylake did it. A couple of
Lancashire? Well,
yeah,
Lancashire, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
Imogen Barrett then by 1700s from Ailsa Chan, but really there's 4 swimmers on the bottom of your screen in a line, and joining them in lane 8, Grace Blair in the mix, but just looks like Imogen Barrett perhaps just starting to edge it into perhaps a lead of half a metre or so. See whether the others respond, as we see there, Ailsa on your right hand side, Imogen on the left hand side, as we see the two coming down towards the 100. And there you can see that gap of about half a metre between the two of them. Georgia Adamson, in fact, in second place now, 1:29.33, is a little bit slower than Erin Faulkner in the first heat. Let's see if they can pick up the pace in the second half. I think quite a different feel to this race. I think that, you know, it's really very much a race with these swimmers on the near side, and they'll all be thinking about, well, can I up my game as we come towards the closing stages? What do I need to do to get past my competitors around about me? And Imogen will be thinking about holding on to this lead, holding on to her technique, and taking it through into the final 50 with that lead intact. Can she do it?
Well, she's trying to hold off the challenge now, but lane number 3, Georgia Adamson, is coming back very strongly. She maybe has a little bit of momentum ahead of Imogen Barrett now. Imogen Barrett still holding on here. They'll be well aware of the position of each other, I think, as they come down. Also going well, right at the top there. In lane number 8 is Grace Blair, but I'm not sure if she's going to challenge the 2 here. Closest to us, Imogen Barrett might get in to the wall first. She has held off the challenge. Grace Blair did go well in the closing stages to get up for second place, ahead of Georgia Adamson. So Grace Blair in that far lane in second, but a strong finish there from Imogen Barrett to take her into first position with Grace Blair in second. That was a good contest, Duncan.
So on to heat number 3. The lineup for this one: Hannah Ormiston goes for Heart of Midlothian in lane 1, Madison Smith of South Ayrshire in 2, 3 Highland swimmers, Olivia McManus in 3, Neve Carey in 4, Charlie Adams in 5, Sarah Dow of Devon in 6, Natalie Sato of Warrender in 7, and Lauren Elder of Forfar in lane 8. So the entry times here 3:02s to 3:04s. So we've seen a 3:02 and a 3:04 in the first 2 heats, leading those 2 heats. So what are we going to see here? Can we see anybody getting close to that 3-minute mark? Just edging it, I think, is Neve Carey in lane 4, but there's not a lot in it as we come down to the 50. So they're one of that trio of Highland swimmers. And she does lead 40.96. That is the fastest 50 split we've seen by around about a second. Madison Smith in second, Sarah Dow in third. So it is Niamh Carey who has the edge. 18-year-old, 3:02.10 her entry time. Really close though. We've got, well, pretty much everybody in the mix here. Maybe Olivia McManus just struggling to stay with the others, but they're all up there, thereabouts. Niamh trying to stay at the front of the field, and she's doing that so far. Up by a metre at halfway, 46.9, so you can see everybody much of a muchness there in the high 46s, the front four there. So we go into the second half, so, well, this is shaping up nicely for another competitive one.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's not much to choose between the leading swimmers here. Maybe trying to make a move, possibly. Hannah Ormiston on the near side would just be the most likely to challenge the leader here, Niamh Carey. Led pretty much from the start, but is she going to be leading as they come into this final turn here? Because Hannah Ormiston is going very well, the Hart swimmer, the 18-year-old challenging the other 18-year-old, the two oldest swimmers in the field. Look like they are heading the youngsters as they go into this final turn. Carey still with the lead, half a second the advantage now, but Hannah Ormiston picked up 0.8 of a second there. Eating into the lead of Niamh Carey, but what's it going to be on this final length? It's going to be another good tussle here. We've seen some good contests in this female 200 metres breaststroke. Lane number 6 going well too, and that's Sarah Dow, but it looks like it might be Niamh Carey who's just going to be able to hold on to this one as the field kind of levels out. We see the camera angle again, a little bit deceptive from this angle, but we'll see it as they come into the finish, into that red zone, the last 5. And Carey did stretch away in the end to hold off the challenge of Hannah Ormiston. 3 minutes, 0.75 for Niamh Carey. So edging ever closer to that 3-minute mark. Big improvement of the 3:02 entry time. Ormiston also inside our entry time. And Sarah Dow inside her entry time as well. So
yeah, it was a good one, that, and improvements on the times for our top two, Niamh and Hannah there. Looked like Hannah was going to really challenge in that third 50, but couldn't quite hold it in that final one. And credit to Niamh, she pushed it hard and kept hold of that lead reasonably comfortably in the end. So heat number 4, Connie Hart of South Ayrshire in 1, Lucy McLeod in lane 2 for first, Beth Craik of Aberdeen in 3, Maisie Adair of Glenrothes in 4, Caitlin Parnaby of Elgin in 5, Ava Joyce of South Tyneside in 6, Katie Watson, City of Glasgow in 7, Ruby McInnes of South Ayrshire in 8. So we have swimmers with sub 3-minute times in this heat, so hopefully we will get times under that mark. Early lead with Maisie Adair of Glenrothes. So she just has the narrow lead coming down towards the first turn. Also up there in lane 6, Ava Joyce of South Tyneside. So they are 1 and 2 at the turn. 40.34 is about half a second faster than the previous heat. 40.71 for Ava. Connie Hart turning in third from lane 1. But it is Maisie Adair just about holding off Ava Joyce, although Ava's maybe coming back at her. Both of them 14-year-olds, so 2 of the 4 14-year-olds in the field setting the pace here, and there's very little to choose between them as they come down length 2. White-capped Ava Joyce is certainly pushing on hard now. Is she just edging it? Well, you wouldn't really like to call it as the two come in together. I think it will be Ava getting the touch though. 126.66, but we're only talking 2/10, so all again is up for grabs in the second half.
It's almost really just the timing of that stroke into the turn, wasn't it, that gave her the advantage right at the death of that second 50 there, but she certainly used it to her advantage there, Ava Joyce, and she's gone away ahead, with Beth Craig now posing a little bit of a challenge on Maisie Adair in that centre lane. Maisie Adair really do with a strong finish. We saw that from her teammate a little bit earlier. Kyron Chapman came blasting through on that final 50 of the 200. So I wonder if Maisie Adair can follow her teammate in that earlier heat. She's down in about third place now as Beth Craig just goes ahead of her, but Ava Joyce has pulled away. She's pretty much the same split there as Ava Joyce as they come down to this final 50. It's going to be between these three, I think, but Ava Joyce is looking very, very good with Beth Craig in second position, and Maisie Adair just trying to hold on to Ava Joyce. Sorry, Maisie Adair trying to hold on to Beth Craig there, who's one lane down from her, but no doubt about who's going to take it. I think Ava Joyce is going to take the win here. Let's check the splits. I think she's extended that lead that she had at the 150, and she is in at 2:58.71. She did extend it very slightly over Beth Craig, and Maisie Adair in third place. So we do have a swimmer under the 3-minute mark, Duncan. 2:58.71 for Ava Joyce.
Yep, she entered 3:00, so she'll be happy about that second half improvement to take heat number 4. So one more heat of 200 breaststroke, and there's your lineup. We have Ciara Hart of Scotia in lane 1, Zara Denson of Montefieth in 2, Eden Fraser of University of Aberdeen in 3, Lauren Cantley of Bankery in 4, 2 Warrender swimmers, Rosie Stutchfield in 5, Josie Grimes in 6, Abigail Fagan, Ren 96 in 7, and Ella Wood of Forfa in lane 8. So 2:57s and 2:58s the entry times here. So on paper, this should be faster than anything we've seen. Pretty decent start in lane 5 from Rosie Stutchfield. Again, we've got a number of 14-year-olds in the field here. Lauren in 4, Rosie in 5, Abigail in 7. The 3 youngest swimmers here. And Rosie is the best of them at the moment, but she's got company pretty close to her. Eden Fraser in 3, Ella Wood in 8, Ella in 2nd. Rosie just under the 40, with only swimmer to go under the 40 this afternoon for her first 50. Now 3/10 faster than we saw from the previous heat. So they're all lined up behind Rosie, including her teammate Josie Grimes, who's perhaps closing on Rosie Stutchfield. So she's a year older than Rosie. We'll, I'm sure, feel that she ought to be faster than her to take back to the Warrender camp. But at the moment, Rosie has the advantage, coming to halfway, up by near enough a body length. And the fastest split there, 45.2. So she's looking good going into the second half.
Yeah, Lane right next to your teammate, that's going to spur you on, isn't it? Both these Warrender swimmers side by side with very similar entry times, so bragging rights up for grabs here for the two in the red caps, and they look like they are leading, but might just be slipping into third place, Josie Grimes, because Abigail Fagan coming through strongly, maybe just taking up that second position. But Rosie Stutchfield going really well at the front of the field. And we'll just check the split for her. I think she's going to be probably the fastest in the pool there, 45.04 as the splits for the others go through. Yeah, Rosie faster than anyone else in that pool, and she actually is at faster 50 than the previous one there. So she picked up the pace on that third 50 as they went into the second half of this race. And Rosie Stutchfield is coming away really, really strongly. Entry time for her, 2:57.43. It might be closer to 2:50 than 2:57, but maybe not. They come into the last 5 now. And here we come, Rosie Stutchfield in 2:54-ish. The wall. Time not registering. I think it was maybe high 2:54, was it?
Yeah, around that I think. We'll shortly, I'm sure. 2:59 for Abigail, 3:00 for Josie. But that was very impressive second half from Rosie. It was pretty close at halfway, but she really just found another gear.
2:55, I think it is on the scoreboard. There she is, 2:55, 1-2 for Rosie Stutchfield.
That's an impressive swim there, not too far away from a second swim. So really good stuff from Rosie.
We haven't seen many that have challenged for that second swim in this afternoon session, but there's been a few that's been not too far away. Well, it's always going to be a tough ask, isn't it?
Yes, it is. When you think you've got 40 swimmers going this morning and only 16 get into the second, you've got to beat 24, 25 swimmers from the morning session to have a chance. That really is tough. But certainly Rosie will have beaten quite a lot of them. So really good stuff. So we go now to 200 freestyle. The men are up first. And so this is the first of 6 heats. And the lineup here is Struan Payton of University of Aberdeen in 1, Alex Holmes of Glenrothes in 2, Lewis Muir of Carnegie in 3, Austin McPherson of Geary in 4, Aidan Williamson of Highland in 5, Ruben Pearson in 6 for Bells Hill, Miller Cunningham of Glenrothes in 7, and lane 8 is Alex Taylor from East Lothian. So it was Ruben Pearson at the 50, but he's been challenged in lane 3 by Lewis Muir. So let's see how this one works its way through. Also up there in lane 8, Alex Taylor of East Lothian, just tucked in, I think, behind Ruben Pearson, maybe in second. It's close though, halfway mark. Ruben 1:02.23, just 600ths ahead of Lewis.
Yeah, it's pretty close there with Ruben there. In line number 6 now, just pressing with Lewis Muir. And Lewis Muir maybe with that edge there. He's just come off again in the second half of this 200. A little bit of a spurt off the wall in that third 50. And he's certainly going to lead them through into that final turn. Lewis Muir 33.81. You see, he's just taken a second away there from Ruben Pearson. Alex Taylor in third and Alex Holmes in fourth position. It is Lewis Muir now. Can he be challenged now? Ruben Pearson not out of this one at all. Alex Taylor coming back right at the top as well, contesting for possibly second position. Alex Taylor finishing really well, but he's not going to catch Lewis Muir here. Lewis Muir, Alex Taylor might catch Lewis Muir, you know. I said he wasn't, but he has. 209.62, and look at that split. 31.63 in that final 50. What a final 50 that was.
Yeah, wow. Alex, I think he's a bit of a sprinter, and he saved that best till last there. What a final 50 from the East Lothian swimmer, taking 209.62. So nearly a second inside his entry time, and absolutely blasted that. Interesting way to swim that. Left it all to the end there, but it worked for him.
Well, you got your lane 8 winner, Duncan?
Yeah, so we did. Absolutely. Good spot. So into heat number 2, Aidan Anderson in 1, Aberdeen Dolphin. 2 is Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen, off to an electric start. 3, Daniel Boyne of West Lothian. 4, Alexander McNiven of Warrender. Keir Stormonth of Hearts in 5, Jed Armitage of Highland in 6, Daniel Roberts of Billingham in 7, Ishmael Shalabi of East Lothian in lane 8. Well, Kieran Lennox 26.78 for his first 50. We think of Kieran mainly as a very fine butterfly swimmer, so what can he do here? I don't know whether this entry time has come for him, but 2:08.90 is not a swim that he does that often. Ishmael Shalabi coming up strongly though. So we had an East Lothian swimmer blasting it in the final length from lane 8, and Ishmael will have taken something from that, and he is just 6/10 behind Kieran as they go into the second half, both on 58. So this is strong stuff from the leading 2.
It certainly is, and this one, it looks like it's a battle between these two on either side of the pool. Kieran going well, closest to us. But Ishmael also going well in that outside lane. It's difficult to tell again from this angle. They're coming to the red zone. Looks like Kieran has the edge now by around about a second or so. Yeah, half a second, 0.6 is the gap. But it was very close in terms of that last split there. Just 5/100 separating them, both on the 32 range, both of them stretching away from the rest of the field. Jed Armitage coming through into third. Are we going to get another winner from the outside lane? I think Kieran Lennox might just have enough to hold off the challenge of Ishmael Shalabi, but Ishmael coming back strongly. Another good finish from the East Lothian swimmer in the outside lane. It's going to be very tight indeed. Who's getting it? Kieran Lennox just in 204.25.
So
Ishmael
big
Shalabi.
improvements from both of them there. You thought for a moment that there was going to be another super final 50 from an East Lothian swimmer in lane 8, but Kieran with the experience to hold him at bay. Both of them well inside their entry times of 2:08 to 2:09, so good stuff there.
They
Yeah,
look like they were
Kieran's
aware of each
start,
other, yeah.
he was off the blocks like lightning, wasn't he?
That's a good contest for us. They would have had no idea where they were on opposite ends of the pool, but they'll watch it back and see what a cracking race that was. It was a great contest between these two. Adam Prusik from Aberdeen Dolphin goes in 1 in heat number 3. Rory Young, City of Glasgow, in 2. Robert Christian from AJ Newcastle in 3. Nathan Wilson, Carnegie, in 4. Conan Swinney from Gateshead and Wickham in 5. Connor Mitchell from Warren de Bass in 6. Colin Murphy, Carnegie, in 7. And Callum McKenzie from Perth City, leading them through lane 8, having a good few heats in these opening heats of the 200 freestyle male and open this afternoon. He leads them through. Connor Mitchell from Warrender in 2nd position, and right down at the bottom, Adam Prusik going well. Aberdeen Dolphin might be the red cap of Connor Mitchell though. Might just lead them through here. Callum McKenzie and Connor Mitchell both under the 1 minute mark. Nathan Wilson just over the 1 minute mark in the centre lane, and Adam Prusik going well down in lane number 1. But contest, Duncan, right up at the top here. Looks like another close battle in lane 8 going well again.
Yep, Callum got a great start and he looks to be pushing it hard in the third leg here. He's back into the lead, I think, ahead of Connor Mitchell, who led at halfway. So through the 150 turn, 132.07, you see a 32.1 against Connor's 33.5, so it's looking good for another lane 8 win here. 132.07, not quite as fast as we saw from Kieran Lennox in the previous heat, but still a very strong swim. Has Connor Mitchell got something in the tank down this final length? I don't think he's going to be able to catch Callum McKenzie. That's going to be the 1-2, the red caps of Perth and Warrender, 1 and 2. What a battle is going on in lanes 2, 3 and 4. Whoa, absolutely storming finish from Robert Christian there. Nearly got second, in fact, 31.2 for his anchor. So that was storming. But Callum McKenzie in 2:05.28 takes the win, and that's over 3 seconds inside his entry time that he did at national age groups. So nice progression for the 15-year-old from Perth. So cracking on into heat number 4. The lineup here: Alex Black of first in lane 1, Joseph Edgar of Durban side in 2, Rory Culvert of first in 3, Benji Jeffries of South Ayrshire in 4, Rhys Edwards of Dumfries in 5, Caelan Johnson of Lerwick in 6, Gregor Ross, City of Glasgow in 7, and Alex Wiseman of Cossacks in lane 8.
The Cossacks, that's a name, isn't it? Do you know them, Duncan? I swum against people from the Cossacks before. City of Stoke.
That's it, yep, 10 out of 10.
City of Stoke Athletics Club swimming section.
Oh, now that is impressive, coming up with that. Take a bow.
There you go. Yeah, club swum against many good para swimmers they had back in the day when I was swimming in the para events down south, and good to see them represented here. Alex Wiseman, I think he's a regular visitor, isn't he? You've seen him in Edinburgh a few times. Centre lane, Reese Edwards leads them through. Alex Black going well in lane number 1. Rory Calvert, Benji Jeffries all there. Again, just one swimmer under the 1 minute mark there at that halfway point. But Reese Edwards going very well. The Dumfries swimmer, one of the youngest in this field, Duncan, alongside Gregor Ross, the two 16-year-olds.
Yep, so what can he do in the latter stage of this race? He's in the white cap in lane 5. Is he going to turn first? It's pretty close, but I think he will. There's proof of that. 1:33.53, up by half a second. So we'll need to pull out all the stops in this final 50 to hold on to this lead, because pushing on strong is Rory Calvert in lane 3 and Gregor Ross in lane 7. But it looks like it still is Reese leading the way. He's up by about a metre still. That gap is closing in the latter stages. This is going to get very close indeed. I think it might be stolen from him. It is Rory Calvert storming down that last 50. Takes the win by 1600s, 2:05.50 against 2:05.66 for Reese. And Alex Wiseman, the Costex man, takes third in 2:06.38.
There's a lineup for the next heat. Heat number 5, Aaron Drake from Warren de Bath. That red cap again, closest to us. Adam Thompson, South Ayrshire, goes into Taylor Sinclair from Elgin, goes in lane 3. Gregor Skinner from first, goes in at lane number 4. Panos Angelicas from East Lothian in 5. Robbie Thompson from Shetland in 6. Dylan Mitchell, Warren de Bath in 7. And Tom Armitage from Highland, off to a very good start. Again, Tom Armitage just has quite a busy programme today. I think we saw him very first thing this morning. We've seen him probably, I think his second swim this afternoon already. But he leads them through that first 50 alongside Dylan Mitchell. And Panos Angelicas in third position. So Armitage and Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell, one of the youngest in this heat. Just 15 years of age, alongside Aaron Drake on the other side of the pool. So the two youngsters from Warrender. One of them, Dylan Mitchell, right up in contention for the lead. 3 swimmers under the 1 minute mark this time. Duncan Armitage leads them through, but a very good turn from Dylan Mitchell to take him ahead.
Yeah, that's pushed him into the lead, I think, but it's still got some work to do to hold on to it. Panos in lane 5 is in the mix, so in lane 3 is Taylor Sinclair. And the early leader, Tom Armitage, who's going to have the lead at the 150. It's close, it's very close, but it is Dylan who has it. 1:32 dead. His lead just over a quarter of a second. Can he hold that? So far it's looking good, but well, here comes Panos Angelakis, the Lothian 17-year-old, and well, he is starting to threaten here. He's found some more pace in this last length, so it's going to be another really tight finish here. Is Panos going to come through? We saw that in the last heat, somebody coming through to take the win from the long-time leader, and he does by 900ths. 2:04.03 for Panos. Dylan 2:04.12, and Taylor Sinclair was finishing fast. He takes third in 2:04.63, so another close one. These 200s are just flying along, aren't they? They're very, very competitive races and rattling through them.
Yeah, it was another very close finish. That's 2 of the heats in a row that's gone right down to the last stroke there. And the final heat on its way. Richard Laws in lane number 1, Dundee City Aquatic. Torrin Liversidge in lane number 2 for Bankery. Ewan Jones, West Lothian, goes in lane number 3. Max Pelosi from Kingston in lane number 4. Mano Drysdale from Warren de Bath in 5. Adam Scott, Ren 96 in lane number 6. In lane number 7, going well in the early stages is Rory Stobie, and also going well in the early stages Kai Connolly out there from South Lanarkshire in lane number 8. So the Warrender swimmer, Rory Stobie, leads them through. These swimmers 201 and 202. Kai Conley, the only swimmer in the 203 range, it's 203.00. It's a great head-on shot there for Rory Stobie. Be great to see some of these swimmers dip under the 2-minute mark, Duncan. 57.85 for Rory. He's given himself a great chance of doing that.
Yeah, so that was just a 30.3, as you can see, his split. If he could hold that sort of pace, then he's on for a sub 2 minutes. But keep your eye on lane 2, Torrin Liversedge of Bankery. He is moving up well. So in lane 5 is Mano Drysdale, another Warrender swimmer. So it's looking like these three as we come. Maybe Rory Stobie running out a bit of steam here. 31.7 there. So, well, maybe that 2 minutes is looking difficult now. 1:29.59. He still leads. He'll need to find something in the tank here to hold off his teammate Mano Drysdale. Still up there is Torrin Liversedge in lane 2, but I think it's a Warrender head-to-head here as they come down the final length. Rory Stobie has led all the way, getting urged on the side here. These two from the Warrender camp as they go past them. Looks like Rory will just hold on to take the win. And he does that in 2:01.74. That was 6/10 inside his entry time, so I think he'll be pretty happy with that. And he'd be also happy that he held off his teammate Mano Drysdale, who finishes 2:02.03 with Torrin third in 2:02.68. Showed a lot of guts there down that last 50, didn't he? Because at the 150, it looked like he was finding it hard.
He was determined to hold on at the end. Definitely put absolutely everything into that. And, well, two Warrender swimmers were maybe in a couple of the outside lanes, probably last to leave the pool, the two Warrender swimmers.
I wonder why.
They put into that one. They're out now, and we can move on to the female 200 freestyle event. Some cracking contest there with the men, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been excellent.
So, the number one of the 6 heats. And we see Dundee City aquatic swimmer Imogen Jarrett with a pink cap. Hayden Holmes from Best in lane number 2. Isla Petrie from Monifieth in lane number 3. Emily Ricketts from Billingham in 4. Maddie Hoole from Warrender Bass in 5. Joey Lau from Gateshead and Wickham goes in 6. Jasmine Robertson Aberdeen in 7. And Amy Russo from Renfrew Baths. She'll go out there in lane number 8. Maybe first to show lane number 6, possibly Joey Lau. Maddie Hula is in fact in lane number 5. Goes through. Hayden Holmes in 2. Imogen Jarrett in lane number 1. Yeah, Maddie Hula with that red cap of Warrender. Again, one of the young swimmers, showing the others on the way home in the early stages. 13 years of age. There's one 13 years of age swimmer, that's Maddie Hula. In the middle, 2 14 years of age swimmers, Imogen Jarrett and Hayden Holmes, and they were the top 3 as they went down the first 50. And still Maddie Hula and Hayden Holmes, 2 younger swimmers in this one. They lead the way after halfway, just by 0.2 of a second. And Emily Ricketts close behind in 3rd. But again, Maddie Hula looking pretty good here, just stretching away now as they come into this 3rd 50.
Yeah, she's certainly going to come under some pressure though, so Hayden and Imogen, lanes 2 and 1 in the blue and pink caps, are right up there with the youngster. Maddie, the East District age group champion at this event for her age group. Let's see if she's still got the lead. Yes, she does. In fact, she's increased it a bit there. So that was a good 3rd leg from her, 1:45.05. So now she has to just make sure of it. Looking as if she will. Imogen Jarrett, that's just edging 2nd now from Hayden Holmes, and also making a move, Emily Ricketts, the Billingham swimmer, in lane 4. Can any of them challenge Maddie down the stretch here? I'm not sure they can. Imogen is closest to it in lane 1, but it's going to be the youngster from Warrender will take the win. Let's check on her time. Nicely into the wall, showing good technique there. Takes the win in 2:19.58, so a 2nd inside her entry time. Imogen Jarrett 2nd, Emily Ricketts in 3rd, both on 2:21s. So nice start to our 200 freestyle as we go on to heat number 2. The lineup here: Amy Dobson of Kingston in lane 1, Anna Kachenko of City of Glasgow in 2, Ella Garrow of Elgin in 3, Emily McDougall of Highland in 4. 5 is Eden Fraser from University of Aberdeen. 6, Mia Peterson from Heart of Midlothian. 7, Ella Thompson of Perth City. And 8, Jessie Norris from Best. So the entry times here, 2:19s and 2:20s. Good start in lane 2.
I think it might be a reserve, and it's the scoreboard says Sophia Filoni in lane number 7, I think. The scoreboard, so we might have one of the reserves in, possibly.
So just checking that one out. Yes, Sophia Filoni in lane 7 in place of Ella Thompson. And see her coming up on the board there in 7th place, 33.58, but it's Emily McDougall who leads the way, 32.31. So pretty much the same split as the first heat at the halfway mark. Another really tight one. So it is lane 4. Emily McDougall has, what, half a metre maybe over the swimmers on her right-hand side. Eden Fraser, Mia Peterson, and just increasing that lead as they come into the turn there. So 1:08.11, bring that lead up to 8/10 as they go into the second half. Now half a second faster than the first heat. Looking like she can really build on this now.
Yeah, she has a lead there, extending it by the looks of things. Emily McDougall, similar one line up from her. Eden Fraser, Mia Peterson also going well. But, well, are they anybody going to pose a challenge to Emily McDougall there? Let's check the split as they go through. McDougall 36.91. Peterson just slightly faster, 36.83, but she has a lead now of about 0.9 of a second, and it was a very good turn from Emily McDougall, just taking her away from Mia Peterson. Peterson now trying to come back, and we're going to be on for a decent time here. Faster than the entry time of 2:19.73, we hope. It is a very well-paced swim from Emily McDougall. She's coming home, and she's just about going to hold off the challenge in the closing stages of Mia Peterson, who did close up by half a second, but it was McDougall who had the advantage by almost a second at that last turn. And she holds off that challenge. So McDougall takes it 2:20.03. Mia Peterson in second position there. It was a good battle at the end there, Duncan, between those two.
Yep, another good contest, as we've seen so many of them in this 200 freestyle. So the lineup now for heat number 3. Amber Haycock swimming S10 for the England Talent Programme. So as Paul explained earlier, it's just the S14s and the very low classifications that swim as a para event. So this is a bonus swim really for Amber. Elena Sanderson of Perth City in 2, Katie Lowe of Glenrothes in 3, Charlotte Craig of Ren 96 in 4, Riley McIntosh Dundee City Aquatics in 5, Rosie Liston of City Glasgow in 6, India Leonie Bryden of Dundee City Aquatics in 7, and Annabella Scatterty of Aberdeen Dolphin in lane 8. 2:18s, 2:19s the times here. And it looks like it's going to be lanes 5 and 6 turning together. Just the touch, I think, with lane 6, Rosie Liston, 31.22. So that is faster than the first two heats by about a second. So nice start from Rosie and Riley. Not too much between them as they come down towards halfway. They've got a body length advantage over about 5 swimmers, maybe just headed in lane 4 by Charlotte Craig. But also up there in lane 8, Annabella Scatterty and others as well. But it's the City of Glasgow swimmer, Rosie Liston, who's going to lead them through by maybe just a bit over a metre into the second half, 1:05.49. So this is good pacing from Rosie. Quite a bit faster than anything we've seen.
Yes, hopefully she can hold on to that pace ahead of Riley McIntosh. She's certainly going to be pushed here by the looks of things. These two going ahead of the rest of the field, and it's all to play for third position. All the other 6 swimmers all really in contention, maybe just lane 3 just dropping back very slightly, and that is Katie Lowe from Glenrothes, slightly off the pace at the back of the field, but at the front of the field, Rosie Liston still leads Riley McIntosh, the para swimmer. Amber Haycock having a very good swim in the inside lane here from lane number 1, and one of the emerging talent para swimmers from England, hoping for her to make the breakthrough into the GB team in the coming years. But at the front of the field, it looks like Rosie Liston has had enough to hold off the challenge of Riley McIntosh, and in fact pull away in the closing stages. 35.41 for that final 50, half a second faster than Riley McIntosh. Amber Haycock did close up. It's a good swim from the swimmer from the England Talent Programme. Rosie Liston it was, 2:16 for Liston to take that one. Big improvement for Rosie Liston. Excellent stuff.
Yep, nice swim there from Rosie, led all the way. Was never really threatened. On to heat 4. Madison Stewart for University of Aberdeen in 1. Sarah McGuffey, City of Glasgow in 2. Millie Shaw of Billingham in 3. Naomi Wilson in lane 4 for Warrender. Poppy Shaw at best in lane 5. 6 is Charlotte Chadwick of Kinross. 7, Mila Loyner of University of Aberdeen. And Anna Lawson goes for East Lothian in lane 8. So slightly faster entry times here, 2:17s, 2:18s, as they come down the pool pretty much in a line. Lane 5, Poppy Shaw from Best, based in Eyemouth, just Berwickshire coast, just near the border. Does she have the lead? No, it's Anna Lawson, in fact. 31.24 by 100th from Madison Stewart. And then Poppy Shaw in 3rd place. And pushing on well now, Madison in lane 1. Looks like she has the clear advantage now coming down the second length. Pretty much all the other swimmers very, very close indeed. Taking it up a little bit in the centre lanes are Naomi Wilson and Poppy Shaw, but no doubt about the leader now. That is Madison Stewart going through a good body length ahead in 1:05.34, just a touch faster than the previous heat at the halfway mark, and a 34.0 is a second faster than anybody else on that 50. Looks like it's pushing on Naomi Wilson now into 2nd place, as the other swimmers, lane 5 and lane 7, close to her. Poppy Shaw and Maya Loyner. Can they put in an attack on Madison Stewart? Is lane 1 going to be the hot heat again? Hot lane, we haven't seen that for a while. It's about time we saw another lane 1, but it's getting close here. Naomi Wilson has got the tail between her legs here, and she's pushing hard, and perhaps is the favourite now with the momentum in the latter stages. Still going well in lane 7 is Maya Loyner as well, so she is pushing hard for 2nd. Not that far away, Poppy Shaw, but it is the Warrender swimmer. She has judged this very nicely indeed. Naomi Wilson bided her time in the first half and then pushed it hard in the second half, and coming strong into the wall to take the win in 2:15.91. So that's a second and a half inside her entry time. So a very mature swim there from Naomi.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It was a lot of work was done by Madison Stewart in the early stages of that one, the first 100. She just felt that pace towards the end, and Naomi Wilson came through really strongly in the end to take that one comfortably. It was very, very good second half of that one. Heat number 5 is on its way now. Freya Keeling in lane number 1 from Carnegie. Gina Wren goes to City of Glasgow. In lane number 2, Sophie Allison from Western Berkshire. In 3, Ella Cunningham from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 4. Jessica Kirkwood goes in 5 from University of Aberdeen Performance. Daisy Gildea from City of Glasgow in 6. Greta Giacomotti goes for Derwent side in 7. and Thea Glenn from City of Glasgow out there in lane number 8. Again, a few returning swimmers that we've seen already this morning. Gina Wren has had a busy day. And, we saw a good swim from Greta Jokubakaite earlier on to win her heat a little bit earlier. But Gina Wren maybe just heading Jokubakaite, so they're separated by around about 5 or 6 lanes. Lane 2 against lane number 7. And also going well, lane number 4, Ella Cunningham in that centre lane. She's in 3rd place, not much at all between the leading two. Just 4 100s with Cunningham making a little bit of inroads into that lead. And as they go into the second half, Duncan, I think Ella Cunningham is just about edging it now ahead of 2 early leaders.
Yeah, she has maybe taken some lessons from Naomi Wilson here from the previous heat, because she's pushing it now in the second half. The City of Glasgow swimmer, national age group finalist, 4th in Scottish schools. And has she got the lead? I think she does. Through the 150 and a 34.8 there to come through 141.02. About a second faster now than the previous heat. Now needs to finish the job as the early leader, Gina Wren in lane 2 and Thea Glenn in lane 8. So it's City of Glasgow all the way here in the front 3 places. So as we see them coming down the final length, it is still lane 4 who's got the advantage, perhaps by a metre. Ella Cunningham takes the win, 2:15.36. And that is about 8/10 inside her entry time. So swimmers just nudging down their times. Second place there, Glenn, and Gina Wren in 3rd. City of Glasgow, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you guess they won the national age group top club competition?
Yeah, good performances there from the City of Glasgow quartet. Really strong finishing there in that 200 freestyle. There's the lineup for the final heat of this 200 freestyle. East Lothian's Lucy Hall is in lane number 1. Caitlin Morton back in the water again, another City of Glasgow presence. She goes in 2 next to her clubmate Olivia Caldwell. Gemma Brown from Carnegie goes in lane number 4. India Marshall, the first of the 2 University of Aberdeen performance swimmers, in lane number 5. Alex Coy from Warrender in 6. Emily Dickens, City of Glasgow in 7. And Madison Cool, a University of Aberdeen performance. She goes in lane number 8. But it's Dickens first to the wall ahead of Alex Coy and Lucy Hall. Again, danger right across the pool here. Maybe lane number 3 going well. Olivia Caldwell, City of Glasgow, be in for another City of Glasgow victory here. So we saw the first 4 swimmers in that previous heat take the top 4 spots. Chance now for 3 City of Glasgow swimmers to do something similar. Emily Dickens might just lead them through here. In fact, Olivia Caldwell is the one. City of Glasgow lead the way. Lucy Hall in 2nd place for East Lothian, and Emily Dickens, City of Glasgow, in 3rd position. So Glasgow still very much in the mix though, but they haven't got it all their own way.
Yeah, so this is going to be close. You're sort of looking for the swimmer who's going to make that second half push. Is that going to be Lucy Hall? She's certainly looking strong in lane 1 and is battling away with Olivia Caldwell. I think it's between these 2. Who gets the touch at the final turn? It is Lucy, and the 34.7, so 6/10 faster than Olivia on that split. 1:14.96 is just a tiny fraction faster than the previous heat. So has Lucy got the back end speed to finish this one off? Olivia Caldwell will push it hard, and there's a good contest going on in 6 and 7. Alex Coy versus Emily Dickens, but in lane 1, Lucy Hall trying to finish the job here for East Lothian. I think she's going to do that. Let's see as she comes in the end. A pretty comfortable win for her, 34 dead on her final 50, and comes in 2:14.96. Entered 2:15.70, so that's an 8/10 improvement. Olivia 2:16.42. Alex Coy winning that battle for third. India Marshall finishing strongly there. Strong distance swimmer, India, so no surprise she was strong at the back end of that one. So we change ends now.
Change ends. Half times are oranges. Fernando?
It's not half time.
Oh, right. Could do with an orange, actually. That's a good point.
I'm sure someone will come up with an orange for you if you ask nicely enough. 50 butterfly.
Conan Swinney, Sam Ross, Luke Jansen, Adam Phillips, James Gillis, Alex Tinch, Lewis Aitchison, and Ewan Maxwell. That's the lineup for the first of the 7 heats. And we'll see who's going to take this one. Centre lanes going well. James Gillis from City of Glasgow in 5. Lane 3 is Luke Jansen from Warrender Bass Club. Might be lane 5, possibly at lane 3. It might be James Gillis into the wall first. Ewan Maxwell going well right at the top, and it is James Gillis. 28.12 for him. Maxwell in second, and that is a big improvement. 29.03 in qualification, and that's been improved to 28.12, so almost a 1 second improvement there on that 50 butterfly swim. Excellent start to the 50 fly.
Not bad to get that scale of improvement over 50 metres. So be happy about that, I think.
Here's the result there. 5 swimmers, in fact, going under the 29-second mark, and fastest entry time was 29.03, so great start. Cossack back in again. Alex Wiseman goes in too. Jasper Harrison, Alex Wiseman, Lewis Lothian, Jed Armitage, Keir Stormouth, Ewan Gray, Keir Campbell, and Kaleva Singh. It's the lineup for this one. Oh, so maybe lane number 3 after that possible best start there was Lewis Lothian. Saw him swim a very good 400 metres individual medley, just being headed at the moment by Jed Armitage, I think. Jasper Harrison going well in lane number 1. Could he sneak it from lane number 1? Harrison closest to us, and he does get it. 27.99. Well, we saw 28.12 in the previous heat. 27.99 already. Armitage in second and Lothian in third place. Again, 3 impressive times at the front of the field.
Yeah, nice swim from the border swimmer there. Kelso base, Jasper Harrison. As we go on to heat number 3. The line up. Daniel Hay in lane 1. Kyle Mossman in 2. 3 is Logan Scally. Cole Morrison in 4. 5, Luke Livingston. Daniel Boyne in 6. And in 8, Connor Mitchell. Taking it out strongly, Daniel Boyne of West Lothian. Yes, he got the edge, pushing hard now in lane 4 is Cole Morrison. I think Cole might just come through and take it. He does. 27.84, so a little bit faster than the previous heat. And again, a nice improvement on his entry time. 28.4 his entry time, so takes over half a second off that. Daniel Boyne second, and Logan Scally third.
Yeah, just 1/100 between second and third there. So small margins. So we go on to heat 4. Caelan Johnson goes in 1. Ronan Payne in 2. Harry Cook in 3. Blair McKean in 4. Aston Kerridge in 5. Luke Gaughan in 6. Finlay Bailey in 7. And Lewis Muir in lane number 8. Luke Gaughan off to a good start. Billingham swimmer going very well in the early stages there. Luke Gaughan really powerful with that entry time of 28.24. Surely he's going to be inside that. He is well inside that. 27.55 for Luke Gaughan. Another excellent swim. Times continuing to get faster, Duncan, as Blair McKean and Finlay Bailey in second and third.
Certainly is. We've got 27.9, 27.8, 27.5. We sneak down towards the 26s. So the line up for heat 5. Rory Culver in 1. Lane 2 looks to be empty. We've got Adam Prusik in 3. 4, Caden McLaughlin. 5, Craig Stevens. Alex Taylor in 6. Joseph Ecker in 7. Adam Thompson in 8. So entry times here all around the 28 seconds, just over. Who's going to get the edge? We saw that storming finish from Alex Taylor in the 200 free. What could he do in the 50 fly? But it looks like lane 4 is Craig Stevens. He's another swimmer who's gone well today, and he's going to take this pretty comfortably. 27.24. So again, the pace is picking up with every heat. That's another nice improvement, 3/4 of a second for Craig. Oh, Caden McLaughlin, in fact, 27.24. My apologies, was missing him out. I think I spotted the wrong lanes there. But Caden taking the win.
And there's heat number 6. The times faster and faster as we go through. Improvements on the entry times all the way. Blair Woodward, Josh Stephen, Rio Rogers, one of the power swimmers, he goes in 3. Adam McLaren, Jack Mitchell, Lewis Gibson, Mano Drysdale, and Benjamin Beale. Where is this one going to go now? Maybe Adam McLaren from West Hill in lane number 4, possibly Lewis Gibson up there in 6, and right on the outside, Mano Drysdale and Benjamin Beale, but who's going to get it? Oh, is it lane 4? No, it's lane 8, 27.48. Well, such a close contest there. Adam McLaren in second, only by 4/100ths of a second, and Lewis Gibson in 3rd place. But wow, close contest indeed. And lane 8 takes it. Benjamin Beale. Wow.
Yep, the 14-year-old. He's having a terrific weekend. Now, watch out for lane 4 here. Ben Carr's got a fast entry time. But the lineup here, Max Pelosi, Logan Jackson, Richard Laws, Ben Carr, Titus Pike, Ewan Watson, Oliver Charman, and Tom Massey. And it is Ben Carr, Edinburgh University swimmer, who is taking this one out. I suspect he might have had exams this morning. That quite often happens for the Edinburgh guys, and they let them swim in the afternoon. So what can he do here? Can he get a second swim? 25.50. The answer is yes, he can. He is going to be the fastest into the B final with that time. Just missing the A final by 0.08 of a second. So nicely done, Ben. We'll see him again tonight. That's the first time we've seen that this weekend.
Yeah, good stuff. He looks so powerful, doesn't he?
Yeah, very powerful. New Zealander. We talked about people who've come the furthest way, but he's been in Edinburgh for a good number of years.
Right,
so
that doesn't count then, does it? Here we go, Ben Carr, great stuff, 25.50. So we saw improvements all the way, actually, wasn't it? Every single heat, pretty much, we saw improvements on the entry time. So we're going to get that for the female events. There is the lineup for heat number 1. Hannah Anderson, Lucy Morgan, Emily Neal, Ailey Fee, Sarah Smith, Alice Finlay, Anna Perry, and Sophie Allison. I think everyone is there. Can we see all 8 swimmers? I think we do have all 8 there. Ailey Fee, 14-year-old, fastest entry time. Fastest entry time equal with Zara Smith, actually, 32.05 for those two in the centre lanes. It was a very good start from Zara Smith. Good work under the water there. It was a good reaction from Ailey Fee, but Zara Smith was the one who came out on top as they've got into the stroke, but back comes Ailey Fee in the closing stages here. Might be lane number 4 to take it. Oh, on the touch, she had to just stretch at the end. Zara Smith took an extra stroke. Morgan was in there as well. Lucy Morgan, 31.90, but 31.65. Good swim there from the youngster, 14-year-old Ailey Fee takes that first heat.
yeah, she was quite a long way back after the dive, wasn't she? She really had to work to get that one back, but credit to Ailey, she did the work and she got the result. Improvement on her entry time as we go to heat number 2. Lucy McLeod, Eva Warburton, Amy Rowell, Emma Silcott, Millie Barton, Amber Hinton, Cara White and Imogen Lowe. 31.8 to 32.0. The entry times here. Off the dive, pretty much of a muchness. Lane 5 perhaps edging it. Millie Barton of Bells Hill. Also going well in 7 is Cara White of Ren 96. And lane 3, Amy Rowell of City of Glasgow, and Amy is certainly pushing it on here, and it's her, I think, versus Millie Barton. The touch does go to Amy, 31.25, 4/10 faster than the previous heat and 6/10 faster than her entry time, so nicely done. Amy's having a good weekend. Millie second, Eva Warburton was third.
Two good finishes. They spotted the finish really well, the leading two there at the end. Got the rewards with two good times. Heat number 3, Jessica Jobson, Cara Gumbrell, Ella Wood, Chloe Merson, Fern Crichton, Riley McIntosh, Anna Lee, and Charlotte Craig. 13-year-old Charlotte Craig up there in lane number 8, the youngest in this field. But it's the oldest in the field, Fern Crichton from Dundee City Aquatic. Is going to lead this one to pink caps in 5 and 6, but it's Fern Crichton who has the edge here. Entry time 31.60. Hoping to dip under the 31 seconds if she possibly can. All on the finish. Ooh, close finish, but she's managed it at 30.94. Didn't quite spot the finish as well as she might have done. It was almost like a 3/4 stroke at the end, but it doesn't matter. Great swim there from Fern Crichton to dip under the 31-second mark.
Yeah, nice swim. I'm not sure our coach will think it doesn't matter. I think there might be a discussion about that. But anyway, let's move on to heat number 4. Amy McLeod, Iona Riki Ayala. 3 is Abby Barnstable, Elizabeth Morgan in 4, Amber Littlejohn in 5, Alicia Bexoli Soler in 6, Ava Marco in 7, Joanna Calder in lane 8. 31.3 to 31.5 the entry times here. So again, there's not a lot to choose between the various swimmers here. Alicia Bexoli Soler in lane 6 is certainly in the mix, so is Elizabeth Morgan in lane 4. Might be between these two. Ava Marco trying to join them in lane 7, but also lane 2 coming up, and it is Iona in lane 2 by 1/100th of a second, taking the win. 30.88, just a touch faster than the previous heat, and so Iona taking the win there, and that's around a half a second improvement on her entry time.
There's the next heat. India Leonie Bryden in 1, Alana Wilson in 2, Olivia King in 3, Kira Pemble in 4, Freya Keeling in 5, Iona Casapidis in 6, Lucy Hall in 7, and Sophia Fallon in lane number 8. 2 from Carnegie in 2 of the centre lanes, 5 and 6, Keeling and Casapidis. And it looks like it is Keeling off to a good start again. One of the younger swimmers in the field, the 14-year-old from Carnegie, Freya Keeling, showing the older swimmers the way home. 2 lanes up from her, Lucy Hall, who's had a busy afternoon. Lucy Hall, she's back in the water again, but it is going to be Keeling, I think, in lane 5. It is Keeling, 30.62, winning that from Lucy Hall by 0.3 of a second. Again, another improvement on the time, 30.62, half a second faster than her entry time. In fact, 4 swimmers entered on the same time there, 31.18. But Keeling was the one who delivered it in the race. Lucy Hall in 2nd, Kira Pemble in 3rd.
So on to heat number 6. So the lineup here, we have Caitlin Reid going in lane 1, Millie Colvin in 2, Josie Grimes in 3, Madison Stewart in lane 4, Caitlin Frame in 5, Abigail Crawford in 6, Rebecca Shand in 7, Bella Geard in lane 8. So 30.6, our fastest time so far. Let's see if these swimmers can get inside that. Pushing on in lane 5, Caitlin Frame, but now getting into a stride, Rebecca Shand in lane 7, but again it's a close one. These two certainly up there. Bella Geard not far away, others as well. Abigail Crawford in lane 6, but I think it's going to be lane 5, Caitlin Frame, and it is by a 10th, 30.81. So just inside her inch time by 1200ths. Abigail Crawford 30.92, and Madison Stewart in 3rd, just over the 31. So close, these 50 butterflies. Small margins, little details change things.
We're going to get under the 32nd for this final week. It'd be nice to see Rosie Liston, Sophie Steele, Georgia Dickey, Catherine Bodie, Lauren Anderson, Emily Dawson, Gemma Brown, Kira Gregg. They all think they've got an opportunity to dip under that 32nd mark. Rosie Liston, we've seen her already this afternoon, but in the centre lane, Catherine Bodie going well. 20-year-old from Geary, Lauren Anderson also in lane number 5. Catherine Bodie, though, might be the most likely to head this field in lane number 4, the nearest of the yellow marked lanes to us. It is going to be Catherine into the wall. Good finish from her, 30.18. Well, that was close to that 32nd mark. Lauren Anderson in second position. It kind of went according to the seeding, that one. Catherine Bodie, 30.18, takes it ahead of Anderson, both in the 32nd mark, and edged closer to that 32nd mark, but not quite there, but still decent time and an improvement on the entry time from Catherine Bodie, so she will be pleased with that. 3/100 of a second, still an improvement, Duncan.
Yep, an improvement's an improvement. So we have something completely different now. 1500 freestyle, just the one heat this afternoon. The second heat will go tonight. So there's your lineup for our single heat this afternoon. This, in fact, will be our last swim of the afternoon. So we have Ivan Gallagher will go in lane 1 for Derwent's side. Jamie Ferries of Aberdeen in lane 2. Alexander Bell in lane 3 for City of Glasgow. Hayden Sterling of St Thomas in 4. Aaron Drake of Warrender in 5. Taylor Sinclair of Elgin in 6. Luke Littler of Derwent's side in 7. And Richard Laws, Dundee City Aquatics in 8. So Jamie Ferris has got an opportunity for a swim. He's coming in as a reserve into lane 2. So good opportunity for him to show us what he can do. So 30 lengths of the pool. We had the 800s yesterday, 1500s this afternoon and this evening. So the entry times here, 17:23, the fastest. That's Hayden Sterling. And the reserve, Jamie Ferries, 18:08. So about, what's that, 45-second spread between them. So expect them to start to spread out as this race develops. Good start from Aaron Drake in lane 5, the Warrender swimmer. He's entered 17:27, did that fairly recently in April at Aberdeen, at the University of Aberdeen meet. He was second in that, second as well in national age groups. So did well just a couple of weeks after national age groups to improve on his time at the University of Aberdeen meet. And he goes through 1:03.10 at the 100, so leads by nearly half a second. Taylor Sinclair pretty much pacing that second 50 the same pace as Aaron. So he is on Aaron's shoulder in lane 6. Taylor, the Elgin swimmer, did his time at national age groups, where he was 6th. Bronze medalist at North District age groups, the Elgin-based swimmer. Very strong, fairly small program in Elgin, but always produced some talented swimmers. Hayden Sterling of St Thomas, the Arbroath-based team, in 3rd place as they go through the 150. And then behind them in lane 3 is City of Glasgow's Alexander Bell. But it looks like at the moment a two-way contest, with Taylor Sinclair perhaps just edging ahead of Aaron Drake as they come to the 200. Half a metre up. 2:12.13 against 2:12.49. So 34.3 and a 34.8. So if he can maintain a half-second differential, he will gradually move away. I'm not sure Aaron will let him do that. But let's see, he has got about a metre's advantage now. So does Well, I was going to say it does look like he's pacing faster, and then as soon as I thought that, it looked like Aaron decided, right, I need to close up again. So let's just check the splits here. Well, still Taylor faster by 4/10. 34.5, 34.9. And then we've got swimmers side by side for third place. Hayden Sterling and Alexander Bell. It must help you if you've got swimmers right there with you. Unless you lull into us, I suppose, racing the other swimmer, not the clock. That's the danger.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you sometimes come out of the water and you think, yeah, I must have done really well. I was, I was just behind Duncan McKinnell in that race.
You'd be doing very badly if you were just behind Duncan McKinnell.
Well, let's say Duncan Scott. I was just behind Duncan Scott in that race. And you look at the clock, you say, oh, he was going slow. All right, okay.
That
So
wasn't
was I,
Duncan
yeah.
Scott then, unless it was in a
No,
heat,
that's
of course.
true, yeah. Well, let's stick with Duncan McKinnell then. But is it what does the junior title go up to? So we saw one of the junior titles won in the 800. Yesterday, was it Connor Aspinall?
It
that
was
won
Connor
that
Aspinall.
in the heat, wasn't it?
Doesn't look like he's swimming this 1500 though,
No.
so obviously decided that 800 is it for this weekend and not try and do both in successive days. And you can understand that, particularly with him, that he's coming out of an injury hit season, so you don't want to overdo it. So let's look at who the juniors are. There are no juniors tonight, so the battle will be on for the juniors. Aaron Drake, who's in second place, is a junior. So is Innes Gow. Oh, he's not going, is he? It's Jamie Ferris in lane 2, so not him. Luke Littler is Derwent side, so he doesn't count as a Scottish junior. So it does look like it is only Aaron Drake, so he just needs to finish this race, which certainly looks like he's capable of doing. And he will be the junior champion here.
I'm sure he'd like to win it, the Warrender swimmer, who's going along very well in lane number 5. Taylor Sinclair does lead him though by, well, you'll see it there, 5:05.93, 5:07.61. Again, it's just that little kind of, tenth of a second, but over 1500s, tenth of a second each 50, that kind of mounts up, doesn't it? Yeah,
so they were going 34.5-ish, and now 35. So keep an eye on that. The pace has just dropped a little bit, but we'll see. Let's see what they are on this one. So 35.6, 35.1 for Aaron. So he's picking up the pace here. He's still just over a second behind, so very much in the frame here. These two now well clear. There's still that good contest going on though for third between Alexander Bell and Hayden Sterling. But they are dropping back behind our two leaders, some 10 meters back now.
It's almost like head-to-heads all across the pool, really, isn't there? there's the two out front, and there's the two chasing them as well. There's two on the near side to us as well in lanes 1 and 2 that are having that pretty close contest. The only ones that are really spread out are the two across in lanes 7 and 8, because the others have got some company going through as they go down towards the 600 mark. And, well, Aaron has taken up the running now as they go towards 600. Still a long way to go, of course. But, a good race. We like a good close race in the 1500.
Yeah, and he's back into the 34.5, so he's definitely picked up his pace here. And Taylor has responded, also at 34.5. So it's going to be, well, a good contest here. We're talking about, well, less than a meter between the two of them as we come down now. Getting towards the halfway mark as they come up now to 650 meters. So next time they're at that end of the pool will be halfway. A 35.0 against a 35.2. So 7/10 the lead now for Aaron. And suddenly we've seen a gap develop in that third place contest as Alexander Bell has moved clear of Hayden Sterling, and Hayden himself is coming under a bit of pressure now from Luke Littler in lane 7. So things changing behind our two leaders, but not really changing there. It's still very tight between the two of them as we come up to 700 meters now. And certainly no sign that Taylor is going to let Aaron away. In fact, look at that, 34.8 for him. So he's closed quite a bit in that 50. So they go through 700 and 8:02.35.
Yeah, pretty much stroke for stroke as they go up towards the halfway point. At the 750 mark, right at the top end. When they reach the top, they will be at the halfway stage. So, a good idea where they stand. It's going to be very close halfway. Look at this, going over absolutely together. 9/100ths of a second separating them. They were only separated by a 10th of a second there in that previous 50. So 8:37 apiece for the two at the front of the field. Third place, Alexander Bell has stretched away from Hayden Sterling by something like 4.5 seconds now, and Sterling only just a second ahead of Luke Littler as we come down to the 800 mark. And these two, Taylor Sinclair, just stretching away there by 1/2 second. Of course, the tactics on a 1500, quite often see the swimmers maybe do it maybe in 500 blocks possibly. Some people try and pick it up after halfway. Maybe that's the tactics of Taylor Sinclair. Maybe he's gone in the second half of this one. Or certainly took the lead. He was behind very slightly at the halfway point, but into the second half of this one, just pushed it on a little bit more than Aaron Drake, and he does have that lead. And again, that 10th of a second difference there on that previous 50 just ekes out the lead to around about 0.7 of a second. So it is a good contest though. And in third it is Alexander Bell, 35.91 for him in that previous 50. So he's falling very slightly behind, again about 1/2 second each 50. He's falling behind the leading two, so it doesn't look likely that he is going to catch them. It looks like the head-to-head is on for the last half of this race, Duncan.
Yeah, it does. 35.5-ish for the two of them as they go through 10:23.49 at 900 meters. Still pacing much as they haven't picked up the pace, so it's really about now, I think, who can hold this pace better. There's sort of 35s, 35.5, pretty consistently across. We're looking, I think, around about their entry times. 17:23 is Hayden was actually the fastest, but I don't think he's going to be in that mix. It's going to be Aaron, who was entered 17:27, Taylor 17:30, and hopefully they can both just nip inside those times. Well, nearly a body length. That's probably the biggest lead either of the two of them have had now as we come down to 2/3 distance. But again, does look like Aaron, as soon as he sees that gap start to widen, he picks the pace up, trying to pull it back again. But it's what, just over a meter back on Taylor. Oh, look at that, 35.55, 35.55. So 9/10 the gap as they go now into the final third. So who can keep this pace going? Can either of them pick up the pace in the final 500? Well, looks like Aaron is closing the gap again. So it's real been nip and tuck between the two of them. Sometimes it's been Aaron with the lead, sometimes it's Taylor. And now just 1600ths between them as Aaron Drake picking the pace up, 35.1 against Taylor's 35.8 there. Get lovely close-up shot of the two of them there side by side. And they are now, well, that's exactly what they are, side by side as they come up to 1100 meters. There you can see Alexander Bell coming in short, so he's doing his best to, well, keep a respectable distance. Not too far behind them, so he's, what, 17 meters or so behind the leading two. Just 2/10 between them now. 35.2, 35.3, so picking up the pace a little bit. They were 35.5s, so that's looking promising.
Interesting, they're both breathing to the same side, so going up there, you have Aaron Drake breathing towards Taylor Sinclair going this way. And Taylor Sinclair breathing towards Aaron Drake going down the way towards the finish end. And Aaron Drake's kind of picked up the pace going up the way when he's looking at Taylor Sinclair, but Taylor Sinclair's had the better coming back towards the scoreboard end. But they'll be well aware of where each are as they come into these closing stages. They'll have 300 to go when they hit this bottom end. It's a real tussle between these two. Let's hope they can push themselves on to decent times. As you said, Duncan, they're going to be somewhere around about 17:25 mark, which will be big improvement on the times that they have sent. Well, not a massive improvement, but an improvement nevertheless by 2 or 3 seconds, so that's always good to see in this 1500. Let's hope they get the rewards with this good contest that they're giving us here this afternoon. Drake now leads 0.6 of a second, the advantage now over Taylor Sinclair. In third place it is Alexander Bell, who is swimming just about on a pace with the leading two, not really closing up, but not losing any ground at all. And fourth place it is Luke Littler now, who has gone ahead of Hayden Sterling, who sits in fifth position. Ivan Gallagher and Jamie Ferris close in lanes 1 and 2, and Richard Laws over there in lane number 8. But it is Aaron Drake and Taylor Sinclair. They'll come down with 200 to go. Is this a decisive move for Aaron Drake?
Well, I thought it might have been when they were at the start end previously, but, well, Taylor is having none of that. He is sticking like glue to Aaron here, and he's certainly not out of it. If anything, he's closing the gap again now as we come up to the 1300. He definitely is. Look at that. There's less than half a meter between the two of them now. So this is really up for grabs here. Now, what we want to see is them driving down into the 34s now as we get to the climax of this race. They really have to push it on and find whatever they've got left in the tank and take it out there into the pool. Aaron Drake, well, we got a little bit of a surprise there that Taylor was coming back at him, so he is making a push now. So 150 to go. You can see the lap cards number 3, 3 lengths to go as they go through. He is into the 34s. Taylor, though, 36. So, well, this might be the critical moment as Aaron Drake just picking up the pace, and Taylor doesn't look as if he can respond. So it is the Warrender swimmer who is pushing it hard here now. It'll be the bell at the next turn. Will that drive Taylor to make one last push to try and bring it back? But he will have a lot of work to do in the final 100. Vigorous bell ringing as they go through. 16-16, another just under the 35. Taylor has picked it up. He's got under the 35, so he is not done yet. 16-16, 30. So you'd expect them to be under the 110, perhaps for this last 100 meters. So 17:25 is there or thereabouts, you would think. Aaron Drake entered 17:27, Taylor 17:30. So final turn, Aaron Drake with the advantage, getting under the 34 this time. So both of them picking up the pace, but there's nearly 2 seconds between them. That, I think, is going to be too much for Taylor Sinclair to make up, as Aaron really pushing it on now. He is opening the gap further. This is going to be a very good win for the Warrender swimmer. As we said, he will be the Scottish Junior Champion in this event, but what's his time going to be? We said 17:25, he's inside that, really picked it up well, 32:75 to finish on, a 33.3 for Taylor. He can be very pleased with that swim as well. So both of them inside their entry times. They will have a little bit of recovery time as the other swimmers come in. Alexander Bell, third in, 17:40 for him. Who's going to be next in? Looks like Luke Littler in lane 7. 17:43 entry time, not quite able to match that. 17:52. Next in is Hayden, 17:59. And then pretty close there, lanes 2 and 1. Jamie Ferris improves on his time, so he is be happy that he got that reserve swim. Takes an 18:08 down to an 18:04, and just touching out Ivan Gallagher as our final swimmer comes in lane 8. That is Richard Laws. He's still got around 15 meters to go. So this one, I think, will be chalked up to experience for the Dundee swimmer. He's not going to challenge his entry time. That comes in 18:41. So great way to finish off the session, Paul, wasn't it? A real head-to-head through 17 and a half minutes of swimming.
Yeah, it was really good stuff there. Aaron Drake just with the edge. They did make that decisive move towards the end with around about 150 to go. And Sinclair just couldn't respond. So that was the first heat of the 1500. The second heat will take place in the final session, which, as you can see, will begin at 17:25 tonight, local time here in Edinburgh.
So you've got exactly an hour to get maybe an early tea and then join us at 5:25. We look forward to your company, but for now, from Duncan McKinnell and
Paul Noble,
we'll wish you a good afternoon.
bye now.